Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on, the Prosperous Network. I'm your host, the Latte Excited Eddie B. Joining me is the one, the only, the guy I missed for the last 2 weeks. I love him. He's my bro. He's my bestie. The one, the only. You already know who it is, but still, give it up for Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir. Yes.
Ed, you're way too excited right now.
Corey, I miss
disturbing.
You.
Yeah, it makes one of us.
What? Yes. Oh. You missed me for the last 2 weeks? Or you didn't miss me?
No.
Oh. But we only talked through text. I miss you. Oh. What?
It was fine.
Fine? Well, everybody, we are back in the building.
Who's back?
Me and you, we're both back. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, only read through text, and I miss you when I don't get to see you, when I don't get to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh? I guess.
Yes.
Because I did the episode by myself, and then you did it with Cordy last week because my power went out, and here we are.
Yes.
Back to normal.
Did you get back home from the hotel Monday or the Sunday night?
No, we actually came back that night because our power ended up coming back on, but it was still shoddy. So, it was fine. It was fine. It just, I don't know, annoying. It was an annoying weekend.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know. It just, it was like one of those things where you have this long week and then you're finally home and you finally sit down to do something by yourself because you finally have time to do it, and then the power goes out. It's like, oh my gosh, what? Come on.
Was it raining? Was it really raining bad? Really stormy?
I mean, there were tornadoes and stuff around here.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was fun. It was a good weekend.
Oh wow!
And then
because I know
this weekend has started out great too because our garage door broke and we had to.
No.
Yeah. So that was fun. So someone came out and fixed it today, but still another, almost $1,000 we didn't really want to spend right now. It's fine.
Home ownership.
Yeah, it sucks. Don't buy a house.
In this market, shoot.
In any market. I mean, it's fine. Buy a house if you want. I don't care. Waste your money. We did.
No. It's a beautiful house, though.
Is it?
Yes. Plus, getting ready for the summer direct, starting I think in about 2 more weeks. I think the week of. I think Wholesome Games is next Saturday. I think Microsoft is in 3 more weeks.
Microsoft's is on the 5th, 6th. No, wait, 7th, 8th, June 8th, which is a Sunday, Saturday. Maybe it's the 7th.
The 7th is then the 7th is Wholesome Games because they do this on Saturdays. Microsoft would be that Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just look it up because I don't have the internet sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, because I'll be off both days. I'm not doing no work or anything. I'm off this weekend. I want to watch these directs. So it is that Sunday then.
Yep, June 8th is about a 90-minute Xbox showcase, and then immediately after will be the Outer Worlds 2 direct. So
okay. Shoot, I think I just probably gonna watch the first presentation and skip the Outer Worlds too.
The
I
Outer
haven't beat
Worlds
the
one was
first one.
fine. The Outer Worlds one was fine, but it's just one of those types of games that I don't care for. You know, like I don't care about the Fallout, Skyrim style games.
Mhm.
So, and it was a good one of those, but it's still one of those, and it didn't really, you know,
Right.
it's not my thing. But enough people like them, so you know.
And I'm assuming we'll probably get the Ninja Gaiden update.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot shown there. I feel like, you know, I feel like we'll get a little bit of an update on like Clockwork Revolution and Fable and Perfect Dark, and probably E-Day, probably the next Halo project, if the rumors are to be believed, which would be a complete remake of Combat Evolved from the ground up. So,
they're not doing 6. No, not 6. They're not doing Halo 7 yet.
I don't know what they're doing. The rumor is they're doing a ground up remake of what do you call it? Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
And then so like 2026, for those who don't know, is the 25th anniversary of the original Xbox. And so the rumor is that 2026 is going to be a year-long celebration of Xbox's greatest franchises, which would be Halo with a remake of Halo Combat Evolved, Gears E-Day, Fable, and presumably Forza Horizon 6 at some point.
Was Forza Horizon on the regular Xbox? Or was that 360?
Forza Motorsport. The first Forza Motorsport was on the original Xbox. So, and then, you know, probably a few other things coming out around then too, like that Fable, the Fallout, one of the Fallout remasters is rumored for next year too.
Because everybody wants, I think, New Vegas to get a remake.
Yeah, it's not going to be New Vegas. It's going to be 3 or 4.
3.
It'll probably be 3.
Yeah, because I think that's the first console version of that series.
Yeah.
About 3.
Yeah. And then you know, there's I'm sure they'll have a lot of stuff there for next year. I'm sure there'll be some sort of limited edition controller that I can't buy because it has rubber grips on it and I'm allergic to them. Because that's what they do every time. Their cool controller comes out, they put rubber grips on it and I can't use them. I wanted that translucent blue one really bad because it reminded me of the Halo 4 360 controllers.
Love that system.
I know, it's the best looking system I think Xbox has ever made, in my opinion. Best looking system. But I can't use any of the controllers with the rubber grips, so like I'm stuck with the normal ones. I can't even buy an Elite controller because they have the rubber grips on them.
Rubber grips.
Not that I want one, but if I did, like, I can't. So,
you know, I still haven't heard anyone talk about the Xbox Elite or anything. With people playing on it. Like I thought there would be so many people playing a lot of Xbox games with the Elite controller, and just because like having a good response to how if it's comfortable, it really does work and whatever.
Everything I've heard is everybody likes it. I think a lot of people like that first one more for some reason. I'm not sure why, but the rumor is they're coming out with that middle controller with like the like essentially a DualSense shoved in a Xbox controller this year. So they would have like 3 levels of controller. So it would be like the basic one, and then the this one, right? The haptics filled one, and then the Elite controller. Some people think that the Elite Series 3 will be coming out soon, but I don't know if I don't know if enough people really care about it outside of Xbox fans, and I don't know that Xbox has sold enough consoles to kind of warrant that controller. I mean, I know Xbox is kind of the default controller on PC, but you know, most people kind of use mouse and keyboard on PC except for very specific games. So
And I guess Steam is rumored to be on Xbox, so I wonder if that's going to be an announcement there.
What is?
Steam's supposed to be on Xbox.
Oh, no, it's not. That's a whole thing. I don't really feel like getting into it right now, but they're trying to make essentially they're trying to integrate Steam into the Xbox like the Xbox OS on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to make that the handheld version of that more appealing for whatever the next ROG Ally is, or the next, like, Xbox is rumored to be putting out their own, like, a Xbox branded ROG Ally at some point.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get that working, and they want Steam, and they want all the stores on to be working on a mobile version of Windows. So that's what they're doing. Okay. I also think they're essentially trying to shove an Xbox operating system into the next version of Windows so that backwards compatibility will work. Like your 360 games, you can essentially play them on PC or something, but that's a long-winded rumor I don't really feel like getting into right now.
Well, at least we have the Nintendo Switch 2, and the hotness that everybody's going to be wanting for that system.
It's weird because, like, I was looking for news when I was making the doc. There's nothing, right? I mean, it's that calm before the storm. It's the, we're kind of promoting the theme park because it just opened right now. We're not going to put any new games out for Switch because our new console launches in 10 days. So, we're kind of in this holding pattern of stuff. I mean, the cool thing, though, that they're kind of releasing on their YouTube channel is the creators' voices, right? Those videos. I think they've done 4 of them already, right? They've done Final Fantasy VII, Borderlands 4, Hogwarts Legacy, and Hyrule Warriors, I think, were the 4 games they've done so far.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, 5. They did the Cyberpunk one also.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Yeah, because I know everybody's rating, like, to see what Mario Kart. I think they did a new trailer for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Nintendo just been very silent for marketing wise for the release. But that's how some people feel. With it.
They have been, right? I mean, they have been, but also like they don't really need to do it any marketing, right? Because it kind of is marketing itself.
Right.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Switch 2 commercials on, like, channels my kids watch. So, like Nickelodeon, and has a lot of them. And there's a lot of YouTube ads on YouTube Kids with Nintendo Switch 2, specifically Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and Mario Party right now are the 3 games they're kind of serving up. I'm surprised they're not doing Kirby yet, but maybe Kirby's too far out to do right now. So
yeah, I think they're gonna wait a while for Kirby. I think right now, I think once the system is released, then, like, you're gonna see more trailers pop up, like on YouTube and probably TikTok and all of that stuff. Like, you're gonna see more, even when you're watching, like, YouTube when you're on your Switch or any other platform. How they do the commercials and stuff. I think you're going to see Switch 2 first, and then whatever content that you're looking at.
Yeah.
To let everybody know that it's out. But we got to see how many stores will have them. Because that is the worry. A lot of people
I don't know if stores are going to have them or not. It's just, it's a wait and see. I mean, I pre-ordered mine from Walmart. It's coming. They said it would be here on June 5th by 9 a.m. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how you guarantee that, but they said that, and it's going to be that and the accessories I bought. And, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Like I said, I will have mine in July. I think they'll probably have them restocked by then.
I'm sure they're going to try to have as many. They're trying to get as many of those things over as they can before these, these tariffs hit or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
I think they want to get as many over here before the holiday season as they can, because I guarantee you the price of that console is going to go up a little bit once these things hit, right? Like, yeah. I mean, that's what PlayStation is doing, right? They shipped so many over here just to have here before those tariffs came in or are hitting, right? So I'm not an economic expert by any stretch. I don't really know how the tariffs work. I just know that all that cost is passed on to us somehow, and that's
pretty
fun.
much. Because I don't know if Xbox raised theirs yet.
I mean, Xbox already raised their prices, so they very clearly have.
So their console prices are up now. The new price
they went up like a couple weeks ago. Like,
I know.
Essentially, like as soon as that announcement was made, like the next day they are all up.
Oh, see, I was wondering. I knew they made that announcement, but I didn't know when it was going up or anything.
Yeah, it happened. It happened.
Alrighty.
I mean, they're not going to announce like prices are up now. It's just going to quietly happen, right? And whether they announce what the date was or not, I don't remember. But the stores definitely capitalized on that price increase announcement. They were up.
Well,
which is like, man, I don't really want to get rid of my PlayStation now because it costs more to get one if I wanted to get another one, but I also don't need it. So I don't know. It's just sitting over there, man.
I mean, that's why I just said I'd rather just get the Pro, pay whatever the price is, because I would at least want to get one by the time Ghost of Yotei come out, because that's the game that I definitely want to play, and then just go from there with it. So, like, I already got 2 of the consoles. I just need Switch 2 and PS Pro, and I'll be good for whatever time these systems will be available to have their next or these games on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that interested in Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotei. I didn't really care about the first one. It was fine, but it's like, oh, this is just Assassin's Creed. You just ripped off Assassin's Creed.
But a sucker punch.
And the combat wasn't as good. To me, I was just really bored playing that game. And I was like, that game was so boring to me.
There's so many opposites. Sometimes me and you just have opposite tastes, which is good, which is a good thing.
Well, Ed, we're opposite people.
That's very true.
In almost every sense of the word.
Yes, that is true. Well, Corey, how about we get into this housekeeping?
Unless you want me to send you that. Unless you want me to send you that GIF again.
Do it after the show, because do not feel out laughing. That was just so good. Do I hope you come to PAX West? Because we're gonna be a fool.
We'll see. I don't know at this point. There are so many expenses right now, like ones we didn't see. Like we still have to get our ceiling fixed. Our roof probably needs replaced. Like there's so much.
Yeah, I
shouldn't even be buying a Switch 2, but I already paid for it, and I didn't use our money for it. So
I seen the dates. I put the application and stuff in, so hopefully all that goes through. I don't know how. I want to see how the flight price is going to be. So like I said, my flight to Boston was super cheap. I feel like my flight to Seattle is about to be expensive. And then having to deal with that crazy airport. Ooh, good googly moogly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, have fun. Good luck.
Well, everybody, this is Nintendo Pow Block, the Nintendo podcast for Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. We record each and every episode live on Twitch, YouTube, and X/Twitter every Saturday night. So come hang out, be a part of the conversation in the live chat, and give us a follow while you're there. If you'd like to support Boss Rush, you can check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can gain early and exclusive access to content like the Nintendo Pow Block 1-Up Patreon show and expansion pass, become a Patreon producer, and more. As always, if you can't support us financially or join us live, your listenership and viewership is enough for us. Subscribe to Boss Rush on YouTube and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review or a comment. It will help with discoverability and growth. New episodes post every Monday morning on podcast apps, YouTube, and our website on bossrush.net, where you can also find our daily banters, reviews, listicles, and more. So, yeah.
Yep.
So, everybody, it is time for Snacktendo! Corey, I know it's been 2 weeks. Hopefully everybody heard my Snacktendo from last week for PAX East. But Corey, anything that you've been snacking on or anything?
I mean, not really. It's been more of a. It's just been. I mean, we had Chipotle today, so that was something. But nothing like interesting. It is Memorial Day weekends this weekend, so maybe I'll have something new to talk about next week. But nothing
major. And for me, I had Buffalo Wild Wings. I actually ordered it just to see if the one that's close to my job would actually deliver. And the reason I say that is that Buffalo Wild Wings is kind of farther away. But it's like a 15-minute drive to get there, and not all the restaurants in that area will deliver. Like Panda Express, they won't deliver, but some of the other places in that area will deliver to our store. So I had a Swiss cheese burger, which was delicious. I should have got the potato wedges because the fries that they gave me were hard and cold. I'm just like, great. But their chocolate fudge cake was also good from them. So I did have Chipotle also this week. And then I had a Poke Bowl from the Poke Brothers. I ordered it from them too, just to see how long it would take and everything. So pretty much just that. Today or this day that we're recording, I should say, I had a sashimi bowl at my favorite place, Tezuke's. And, it was just really good. It was really kind of just out of the blue because I went to go get another Pro controller for my Switch. Just wanted to get another one while while they're available and everything. So I just picked that up, and then I was just like,
that's
close to the highway.
That's good advice. You should get a Pro controller if you don't want to, because Pro controllers work on Switch 2, and if you don't really care about having multiple of the Switch 2 Pro controllers, your Switch 1 Pro controllers work on Switch 2. So, just pro tip, if you want a second Pro controller for your Switch 2 for like a second player or your kids or something, like, better go get it. I thought about getting 2 new ones just to have them. I mean, my Pro controllers, my 2 black ones are still from launch.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't, and once I got that Xenoblade one, right, I never used the black ones again. My kids use them. And then, I got the Splatoon 3 one, which is the one I use now. just because it was newer and the sticks felt better because they hadn't been used for 6
for a while.
yeah. So I don't know. I might go get another one, but also I might just get a second Switch 2 Pro controller and just call it a day.
Yeah, because I still use my Monster Hunter one, but I use the silver Monster Hunter, not the gold one that I got when Rise first came out. I think the silver one came out when the DLC came out. I know that, but I was just like, you know what? I still have my original controller also, but I'm just like, you know what? It's been a while since I got a new controller for my Switch just to have. So I just decided to get another Pro controller for the system.
Yeah.
So
I hope the D-pad on this Switch 2 Pro controller is fixed because I gotta say that was my one issue with the Switch Pro controllers. The D-pad really sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, but it sucks. It's not good. It's not the best D-pad they've ever made. You know, considering they're the inventors of the D-pad.
True. Yes. So
I don't know how you mess that up when you have you're literally selling 3 other controllers on your store with better D-pads.
That is true.
You know, just throwing that out there. About to be 4 with the GameCube controller, which I got, by the way. Shout out to Stephanie for letting me know they were on.
Nice.
Here's the thing, Ed. I got that early invite, right?
Yes.
To pre-order my Switch through Nintendo, even though I already pre-ordered it through Walmart. But they did have the GameCube controllers in stock.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, well, they invited me early. I might as well just get a GameCube controller while I'm here. Well, if you were invited early, anything you purchased for Switch 2, you had to buy. You also had to pre-order the Switch 2. So like, I couldn't buy a GameCube controller just by itself.
So it's like a bundle kind of situation.
Well, yeah. If you wanted any accessories for Switch 2, you had to pre-order the Switch 2.
Ooh.
So that was cool. And then I was like, but then Stephanie said that she got one, and I was like, well, she pre-ordered hers through Walmart. Like, how did she get one? I was like, how did you get one? She's like, I just bought it. I'm like, I was in the store. I got that early invitation, and they told me I had to pre-order a Switch 2 through them to get one. And so I went. It was still in my cart, right?
Yes.
Like, so I went in on the website. I was like, oh, man, I have to wait in this queue. And I was like, oh, wait, I tried to order it on my phone. So I went through my phone, and it was still, that page was still open on my cart on the Nintendo store. So I just checked out. I didn't have to wait in the queue. I was already checking out.
And you got your Pro controller. You got your game controller.
Yeah, and like 2 hours later, I got my confirmation and everything. So it's not going to be here on launch day, though. It said, 3 to 5
business days
or whatever. So probably like Saturday, Monday at the latest, Tuesday, which is fine, I guess. It seems like a lot of people, though, unless you're buying it at a store, right? If you go walk into a store and buy one, like, might not get it on launch day, which is why I'm not taking work off on the 5th,
with the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's I don't know, especially if you ordered it through Target, good luck. You'll probably get it like a month and a half later.
Target, it feels like it's going to be a mess. And the only reason why
Target's the limited run of mainstream box stores. Oh, I ordered this like a month and a half ago. It just got here. Oh. That's fast for limited run. So what should I?
True.
For how many people have tried to build relationships at Boss Rush through with limited run, like good standing relationships? I sure trash them a lot, which is fine. I don't care.
Well, I think limited run, like I'm not gonna trash them or anything, but when we get to like our pickups and stuff, and I'm just gonna talk about it, because I got some stuff from PAX East there. I kind of feel like I'm just like y'all need to have a better relationship with Best Buy and Target, because I remember that limited run. We're selling their games through
They
them.
still do. They still do. My Best Buy has a whole limited run section. It's just not the collector's versions. It's like the generic box art ones, right? Which is like where like the Nintendo keycard games are going, right?
Which would be fine, but I'm just like, man, I don't hear a lot of the limited run games. I guess I wish my Best Buy had that kind of section. Even Target, that they would have a limited run, just the standard ones, for it. You know, because I just don't see it. Like, I want to go in and get Yards Rising for Switch if I could, but I'm like, that's hard to do.
Yeah,
everything.
Well, they're called limited run, so they're not called unlimited run, Ed.
Well, I can understand they have a limited run, but I'm like, shoot, we have limited time. Y'all running too long for giving us our product and everything. So yeah. I'm just saying
they must also be called limited employee / production line. What a no! The only reason why they're as popular as they are is because they have no competition. They have like literally barely any competition. So like, there's nowhere else to get these games. So
right, and if there was some other places that did stuff like this, I would be cool with it.
It's just like you would think someone would, like, quote unquote, rise up from and say, your business model and your production schedule is awful. I'm going to do it for this, and this. I'm going to do it for, 90% of the cost that they do it at. And I'm going to get these products out faster, and I'm going to put you out of business. If I knew the right channels to do that, I would try to do something like that with Boss Rush.
Well, shoot. Well, like, okay. So like, Marvelous just dropped, the 100 line thing, collector's thing also. And, some stores didn't have it, or some stores didn't even get it. They didn't even show like they had pre-orders. But so I just had to order the thing from Marvelous. And it just feels like I'm like, if I'm going to be doing any of these collections and stuff, and it's going to be do limited run, I could hold off. Because I'm like, if these indie devs could do it by themselves or team up with someone to do it, like PM Studios, they're doing it for Pipistrello and the Curse Jojo. I pre-ordered the collector's edition. That mug is coming from Canada.
Yeah, I mean, the thing too is like, you, like, by the time like they even start, I mean, like, by the time they take these pre-orders and stuff, right? Like, and they take so long. What if the game they're putting out was reviewed badly, or somebody decides they don't like that style of game, or it's based on something that is against their morality or something at some point, right? Like, oh, well, then you can cancel that pre-order. Like, it hasn't shipped, whatever. And whatever. They're a terrible company. I can't believe people want to buy stuff from them.
I think limited run expect people to, okay, we know that's going to take time, and they forget about it. So they have the money and everything, but then forget about it. I'm like, but then when are you going to process our cards? Are y'all processing the cards when y'all ship them? Because then that's the point. Everybody was just like, well, I'm getting my game this week. Well, I got my game 2 weeks ago. I'm just like, hold on, why everybody getting their stuff at different times when everybody put up the money for the pre-order?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And limited run was a topic on the Boss Rush podcast this past week or whatever. I don't know when that episode's coming out. I guess Thursday it comes out.
Mac.
Yeah, and they were talking like limited run, and I didn't say like a word the whole time about when they, like, it was the limited run part of the conversation. And LeRon asked me what I thought, and I said I have nothing nice to say about limited run.
So pass.
Yeah, and I ended up cutting that out of the episode because I know I felt eyes on me like, why did you say that? So, because Stephanie and Dan love limited run, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't want to put anything negative out there of things that they're on about them, but I want it on record here that I think limited run is a terrible, horrible, awful company, and I can't believe they're still in business.
Hey, they were running things during the Switch.
I mean, yeah, but somebody needs to take their business model and, I don't know, ship the game within, a couple weeks of it coming out. Like
because it's the I'm like,
not a year and a half.
Is it the production of the items or is it the production of getting that game on cartridge?
No,
Because I'm like,
it's not the game on cartridge. It's here's the thing.
like,
Here's their business model though, right? Is like they take those pre-orders and then they like it's I don't want to say it's made to order, but like, if they have like 10,000 pre-orders, right? They're going to make what 15,000 copies to have some sit in stores, like the non whatever, and then the collector's edition ones, right? They'll have like even less. So like it's less of a, I mean, the manufacturing and the processing of that is going to take longer because they're not ordering as much, if that makes sense. Because like these manufacturing places, wherever they're being made, right? I mean, these limited run things are probably being made by children in China, right? Whose fingers are bleeding and get paid in corn chips or whatever, rice chips. I don't know. So it's gonna those spaces are made for large output manufacturing, right? Like phones and Switch 2s, not 450 art books or 75 fake Game Boy Advance cartridges or whatever, right? Like they're not made for that. So like to get that space and have these things produced is going to take longer. You could do it here in the US, but then they're like, oh no, we would have to pay people for that. Can't do that. Can't pay people. So let's.
And the quality might be a little bit garbage.
I mean, it's already garbage from the stuff that they're making anyway. So did you see that whole story about the Game Boy Advance cartridges for Shantae?
No.
Yeah. Apparently the plastic like cracks and like it's like a terrible quality. That so much so that I think they either delayed it or they're changing. They have to like manufacture the cartridges.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Nintendo Life. It's where I read it.
Oh.
Yeah, the Shantae Advance cartridges are apparently like trash. Like complete trash.
Oh,
that's not Way Forward's fault. That's not Way Forward's fault. That's Limited Run's fault.
Right. Because Way Forward, no, they could go somewhere else and get some quality.
I wish they would. A company like Way Forward deserves much better than Limited Run.
Oh, heck yeah.
Throwing that out there.
Because there's man, who else? There's another yeah, there's some other companies that,
I mean, there's like Super Rare Games, and then there's like
Super Rare, yeah,
and then there's like I Am 8-Bit does a lot of stuff, and because they who's doing some, I don't know, but and then there's like what East Asia Soft does a bunch of kind of weird collector's editions, right?
Yeah,
like, there are other places you could go. I would say I Am 8-Bit's probably the best quality, but but you're going to pay a little more, but also like you get what you pay for, clearly.
Right. Right. And I wonder because I think 6-1 Indie, I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, they're doing publishing now.
Yeah, so I wonder if some indie games go through them if they're going to do publishing and collector's editions.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
And stuff. So yeah, but everybody's. I know it's Nintendo.
Is it?
Well, I did try Sprite Tea. It's a tea flavored Sprite.
Tea?
Yeah. We just got the 12 packs. But we also got the 20 ounces, like the single ones. No one put them out, so I just took one out, brought it, and then started drinking it. Not bad. It's good. It's good. It does taste like tea. It still has that Sprite lemon flavor to it, but it does taste like a sweet tea, so it's not bad or anything. Refreshing. How it does over the summer, I don't know just yet. And speaking of Red Bull, Corey, because I know you like the monk fruit, dude, that wild berry Red Bull, the pink can or dark pink can that just came out, dude, I've been seeing everybody buying it here. So I'm just like, is that going to be the energy drink for the summer? I really don't know. But I've been seeing more people buying that and like the sugar free version. But I'm just like, ooh, wow, okay. I think Red Bull might have a hit on their hands with this wild berry, but don't know yet. Can't confirm yet.
Can't confirm, he says.
So, but yeah. Well, everybody, it's time for Play with Power. Great. What have you been playing with Power?
So today I played Power Rangers with my son.
Yay.
No, not yay. Talk about a game that's not very good.
So, the yay is more for playing with your son.
Yeah. I mean, I bought it so we could play together because he was showing interest in Power Rangers, right? So we were, I play with him.
You've been having fun watching the shows, then playing the game. Yeah.
So that's the thing. And I've also been playing Expedition 33, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I really hope there's a Switch 2 version coming. But yeah, I mean, my son and I have been watching the show. We watched Mighty Morphin all the way through. We watched a little bit of Zeo, which is the series after Mighty Morphin. He wasn't really into it, and he was really into Turbo, which is the one about like they have the race car robots. He really liked that one until the cast left and they brought in new characters. He was not into that. But what we did do, we watched all of Dino Fury, which is the show that's on Netflix right now. Well, right now, in quotes, it was from 2021 to 2023, but we watched that in its entirety, and it was really fun. Like the acting's terrible, but it always has been, right? That's just part of Power Rangers, right? Like
very campy.
Yeah, it's just like the acting is always bad in Power Rangers, so like whatever, you just kind of get used to it. But like they really try to tie it back into Mighty Morphin in like a major way. And it actually leads into, remember that movie they put on Netflix?
Yes.
It actually leads right into the movie. So
interesting.
Yeah. So that was fun to see because like Billy is like a big part of the third season of Dino Fury, which is called Cosmic Fury, but it's really fun. It was really fun to watch that, and my son was getting like really into it, like so much so that he started like talking about specific episodes and like what happens in specific episodes, and like Lord Zed comes back and he's like
Oh,
a
wow.
major, and then like the very last episode of the series, like they have this big like cosmic reality battle or whatever, and like all of the Megazords from the entire run of the show are like battling it out with these space monsters in space. It was really cool. I'm glad that he likes something like that, because like my daughter likes to jump around, right? She doesn't have like that one thing that she latches onto, like the way that he has Power Rangers. She likes a lot of things, but she doesn't like love anything, if that makes sense.
Like a favorite show or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so my son, the way he likes Power Rangers, it like has gotten me back into it in a way, and to the point where like I've been looking on eBay at Power Rangers stuff, because I remember they came out with a collector's line a couple years ago called the Lightning Collection.
Yeah,
and like I've been looking at some of those, like the just the Mighty Morphin ones, right? But then like I forgot all the Mighty Morphin ones, because there's like the original set, right? Like the original 6 Rangers, which includes the Green Ranger, and then the White Ranger comes in, and then the movie happens, so there's like all the metallic movie set,
right?
And then there's the Ninja set, and then there's the Alien Ranger set, which is like that 10 episode miniseries between Mighty Morphin and Zeo. And then there's the Zeo set. And I'm like, oh, I can't fall down this rabbit hole, but I'm going to anyway.
I need to watch because I feel like there's a recap of the whole series of all shows, and I just think I need to see it, because I just want to see. I forgot how the show flows, not as in like the production wise, but like what was after the first Mighty Morphin, like what was the next TV series and stuff. Because I remember that it started on Fox Kids, like it was Monday through Friday show. And then it ended up on I know here it ended up on like the Family Channel.
Well, it ended up with Disney for a while.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it was Fox. It was Fox, and then it was Disney, and then it was Nickelodeon, and then it was Netflix. So it's kind of following the Ninja Turtles path.
Well, true. Well, because the Ninja Turtles was weird. Turtles was on here, Channel 50, or known now as UPN. Then it went to CBS, and then it stopped. Did it go to it went back to Fox, I think, with when it was just like a little dark, like that dark.
Yeah, it was like the late 90s show. There was 2 late 90s cartoons that were like very similar, to the point where like if you watch them, you probably couldn't tell them apart if you weren't into it, right? Like, yeah, because there's like, and then they tried that weird live action show for a while, which is part of the fifth season of Power Rangers, by the way, in case anybody cares.
So I just seen YouTube, I was looking at Twitter that there's a anime Ninja Turtles, and it looks really different. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's a Ninja Turtles I've never heard or seen, and it's full on anime, because they somehow look like humans, I think. I'm like, what the world is this?
Yeah, I don't really know what that is. But then after Fox had a run, it went to Nickelodeon, and then they had that. Then they had that show that was like really well liked, right? Like the 2002 through 2005 or 6, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was later than that. It had a Spider-Man feel. Whatever that computer animated version was. Yes. And then after that, they had Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was that ugly cartoon that just messed with everything. Like Raph was the leader, and Leonardo was like some like dumb character, and like It was
Was
like
that
April
was
was
that on
in high school. Like, it was weird. It was really strange.
was that on Nickelodeon?
Yeah. And
'Cause
now
that
it's
was
on that whole run of that show. All of the Nickelodeon shows are actually on Netflix now.
Netflix. Because the last one it had that black girl as April.
Well, I mean, so people don't know this, but April was originally black in the original comic run.
Oh,
She became white for the cartoon, and then they tried to she was obviously white in the movie,
right.
but she was originally black, and so yeah, I mean, she's black in the second Nickelodeon cartoon, and the current show, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is the cartoon based off the movie that came out last year.
Okay.
Which is also on Netflix.
The series of the movie.
The series. The movie's on Paramount Plus.
That's the one. That one was really good. The Mayhem, I think.
Mutant Mayhem, yeah.
Yeah, that one was really, really good. You seen it, right?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I think yeah. If you get a chance to check it out,
I was waiting for it to come to a streaming service, and then it came to the one that I don't have. I'm not paying for another streaming service just to watch that.
If you ever get a chance, someone put it on a certain kind of platform that's red and white.
I'll find it eventually, right? Like I'll watch it somewhere. It'll be on. I mean, I'm sure I can rent it for like $3 on Amazon and watch it, right? Like that's how I watch most things. Honestly, it's if it's not on a streaming platform I just rent it.
Because I wish it was like on Hulu or something for you to watch it. Like, it's a really good movie. Yeah,
I heard it was really good. But speaking of Ninja Turtles, Ed, remember those the NECA collectible ones from the original movie?
Yes.
The 12-inch ones. Remember the 12-inch ones I was showing you that were like $200 a piece?
Yes.
Well, there's 7-inch ones, and someone on eBay is selling them for $20 a piece. So I bought one because I want to see what the quality of these things are, right? Before I get the rest of them. But I ordered a Leonardo today.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Because we were looking at Power Rangers because Miles really likes Dino Fury. And so for his like last day of school gift, I bought him the Red Ranger because that's his favorite Power Ranger.
Oh.
Zato from Dino Fury.
He'll flip out.
Yeah.
Dad, Mom, look.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, Dino Fury, I'm pretty sure, is credited for having the first female Red Ranger.
Ooh.
In the third season. So
third season.
Yeah. So I really liked watching that with him. The only thing I don't like is the really bad CG of the Zords, but whatever, right? I mean, it's
TV production, like,
dude. It looks budget. It looks like it was the CGs from like 1997. I think the CG in that original movie is better than the CG of the show. But I mean, it's definitely not. I mean, the CG in the show is definitely better than that. But that's what it like reminds me of. Is just like really early CG of like, oh man, look at everything looking so real except for this splotch of shiny color hopping around.
And you know when a CG is back and it looks like 90s CG, that's when you know it's just like, oh yeah, y'all really was on the budget. Because there's some CG stuff that like it looks real, it looks really good. You can't tell the difference.
I mean, I think the best CG I've ever seen still is like those first 3 Transformers movies.
Yes.
I think that CG is like probably the best CG I've ever seen, aside from maybe like some Marvel stuff, not all Marvel stuff, but like, also CG like people and CG robots, definitely quite a difference there, right? Where like it's easier to make I've not easier, quote unquote, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like animators have an easier time making robots and ships and cars in CG than they do people, right? Because there's still something really weird when you see, like, you know, the Hulk in Marvel, right? In the Marvel movies,
Right.
standing next to like a human. There's still like that little bit of like, I can tell you're fake, you know?
There's something about the texture in your animation that's different than the human that you're standing by.
It's like, I think it's because it's almost like the facial features and the facial animations run at like a higher frame rate with like less physics almost than like, you know, a normal person moves their face and stuff. I don't know. There's just something weird. I don't know how to articulate it, but I think people know what I'm saying.
Right.
But back to go ahead,
oh,
sorry.
I wonder, like, if you could use like Unreal Engine 5 or whatever engine Kojima Productions is using and stuff.
All of the Star Wars shows use Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, I didn't know
on
that.
Disney Plus. They all use Unreal Engine for their CG.
Oh, okay. Because man, I would love to see like Ninja Theory or like I said, Kojima Productions and stuff, like merge CG in real life, but like as for an actual show or movie that you go out and see.
Yeah, the Mandalorian is like the one that they highlight using Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, you try.
And then the other Star Wars shows starting Andor uses it too.
Okay.
Because it has that, the way you can like animate in Unreal 5 is only limited by the tech that you're using.
Yes.
Right? And so like with that, obviously Disney and Lucasfilm have essentially unlimited money. So they can build these big, powerful rendering machines so they can make it look as realistic as they need to. And, you know, it's funny because when you watch the behind the scenes stuff of The Mandalorian, they're like on a stage with screens behind them with you know, the background on these screens. But then when you watch the show, it just looks like they're standing out in the middle of the desert. I thought they were filming on location the whole time until I watched it.
Wow.
Because of that like weird nanite tech that they use in it, where like they can literally make anything out of essentially digital atoms, digital like molecules, essentially. So like it can get as granular as you need to.
And they probably just sat down and learned probably Unreal Engine 5 like from top to bottom for just like months. Days.
Yeah, well, Disney invested $1 billion into Epic because they're building Disney a digital world, essentially like a digital Disney metaverse.
For their parks or for
like just to live in, like essentially Fortnite, but only for Disney with no violence. It's just for you to kind of hang out and do things in.
That I did not know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that's going to follow through. I mean, we see all the Fortnite Disney skins in Fortnite anyway, right? But like, I mean, you can't go a week without seeing a Marvel skin or a Star Wars skin or a you know, one of these other things that Disney wants to promote.
Very true.
Yeah. Anyways, what are we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Power Rangers what we've been playing in Power Rangers game. Yeah. So yeah, I ordered my son a Red Ranger, and I'm looking at the Red Ranger Zord from that show. Because he loves, like, obviously the transforming robots are clearly the biggest draw of Power Rangers, I think, for kids, right? Because they transform. Not only do they transform, but you can combine them and they become bigger robots, right?
And he hasn't started Transformers yet, right? Or
no, Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the best version of Transformers to start him on, because he's not going to want to watch the originals, and like the Michael Bay movies are too violent, and like Transformers Prime, I guess, but like I don't know.
And he probably not do Beast Wars. I know Cartoon Network had one.
Yeah.
But I don't even know where you would find a Cartoon Network's one.
I mean, it would be a Paramount. I mean, Paramount owns Transformers. Well, Hasbro licensing, so
okay.
But like, you know, he's playing with my old toys, right? Like he's limited to the toys that I had when I was little. So I'm like, should probably just get him some Zords of his own. You know, mostly so he doesn't lose any more pieces or break any more pieces of mine. But also like he knows they're mine, and so like he tries to be careful with them because he knows they're not his technically, right? Even though I don't care like that he plays with them and he keeps them in his room, and you know, but I want him to feel like he has something that's his and not just quote unquote borrowing mine to play with. So but back to what good thing there's no news. So I've also been playing Expedition 33, and I'm playing it through Game Pass, but I did buy a physical version of the game on Xbox to support the studio.
So where did you buy yours at?
Best Buy.
Okay.
Because I ordered it online. It was here. I ordered it on Best Buy and it was here in 2 days.
Because I was trying to see if it, like, because everybody was getting their physical ones, and I couldn't find it nowhere physically.
Yeah, I got it at Best Buy, but the Xbox version is the only one that's ever in stock. Like the PS5 version is never in stock.
Okay.
And then they announced that they're putting the collector's edition back out, right, without the game. But they're putting it back out. It's up for pre-order right now, and I really want it, but I can't justify spending $120 on it right now with the Switch 2 coming out.
So there's no game in it, right?
No. It comes with the Steelbook and the monolith statue and something else.
No digital code or anything?
No.
That's crazy.
Well, the original collector's edition did come with the game, but it was $200. This one is $120 without the game.
So it's just pretty much the digital items.
Yeah, that's just the items.
Okay.
But I can't justify spending $120 on it. And like the monolith is cool, but I would have rather had a statue of like the characters standing together or something. Maybe the Figma or PlayArts will pick up the licensing to create these characters, right? But for little figures or whatever. Dude, this is, I think on this show, we've talked, since we started the show, there have been 3 or 4 games that I have 1,000% fell in love with. Like, I mean, I love a lot of games, right? But like,
right,
there are games that I think about at least once a week, right? Like Breath of the Wild is one of them that I just constantly think about all the time.
I do. I with Switch 2 jumps comes, I'm definitely playing that. Like I want to do Breath and I want to do Tears. Before I even do like Mario Kart World and all the other games, I'm like, I want to put in my Breath of the Wild and just update it and go and just see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably replay it too when the system comes out. You know, Breath of the Wild, Death's Door is one of them. Nier Automata is one of them. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is kind of one of them, but not as much as the others. But that said, this is a game that I'm going to think about for a long time. Like, it is, to me, it is one of the best. Like, the game is not perfect by any stretch, but like, the world is so fascinating. the character relationships feel real because the acting is that good, which, it should be. It has,
everybody's just been taken aback by just the end of chapter 1, and everybody's like, "What the?" I'm like,
yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything on this show, so don't worry. I would eventually like to do a spoiler cast on this game. Maybe when a Switch version comes out, we'll do one, because they have been kind of saying, they weren't planning on it, but now that it's sold so well, anything's possible. And it's like, well, we all know what that means.
right.
And I will buy it physically for Switch also, Switch 2. The relationships are so believable. There are so many shocking kind of twists and turns in this game. The areas you visit are really unique. Like the not the opening area, not the first area when you get to the continent, but the second area you go into is one of the coolest, most unique areas in a game I think I've ever walked through. Not that it's like, not that there's like a lot of stuff to do in there, but just the concept of this area is so unique and interesting. And then the secret that you find there is not really a secret. It's part of the story, but like there's no hint or whatever. And it's just this random thing in this area that you find, and you don't really know what it does or why it's there. And then you keep playing the game, and then you find other ways to access this thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so unique and so interesting. The way you level your characters up is super interesting too. You level up through these things called pictos, which are essentially buffs or debuffs, or, you pair them with certain weapons. The weapons, become more powerful, or you become more powerful, or your magic becomes more powerful by using this, and this, right? Like it's essentially like,
Material.
it ranges anything from like, on your base attack, your character attacks twice instead of once, to you heal this person, you get 50% health back as well. You revive this person, you get cleared of status effects. Your your free aiming does 50% more damage. There's all kinds of things you can link to this. And then there's also like magic based ones where like, 25% chance of burn, a higher rate of burn when you use a fire attack and stuff like that.
So you don't have like number level up, like if
you do,
like if
you still have that too, right?
Oh, okay.
But these are additive, right? Where like, okay, I need to, every time you level up, you get 3 points to level up your vitality, your strength. I think it's called might, but your strength, essentially, your defense, your agility, which is like your speed. So if you're you know how speed works in games. Like in JRPGs, like that character's faster than you, they're going to attack first if you're faster.
Yes.
Whatever. And then your luck, which is like your chance at a critical hit. And so you can divide those points into those 5 categories. The pictos are additive to your skill tree and these stats, right?
Okay.
And you level those up, and then you get every time you level up, you get 1 ability point, right? That you can apply to a skill tree, and then once you get further into the skill tree, like this move requires 4 ability points, or this one requires 10 ability points, right? And so like you got to manage those as well.
To give you customization on how you want that character and what kind of party you're going for.
Right. And then you also get these, you can find these items throughout the world to like respec your character. If you feel like you're speccing them the wrong way, you can just apply this item to that character, and it clears their skill tree, and then you can kind of reapply those points to where you feel like it would do better. So that's been really fun to play around with. The other thing too, though, is you can also apply these points called luminous points, where if one character uses these pictos enough times during your playtime, they become unlockable to all characters for a certain amount of luminous points. And so you have to gather these items to add luminous points to your characters. But once you do, you can start adding the picto abilities to your character without using a picto slot, because you have 3 picto slots, but then you have your luminous points that you can spend on these abilities without using one of those picto slots. So, and some of these abilities are worth like 1, 2, or 3 luminous points. Some of them are worth 10 and 15 luminous points. So you kind of got to mix and match and kind of spend your points wisely, but you can add more points to your characters throughout the game depending if you find the right items or not. So that's also been really fun to play around with. And it once you start opening up your like having more luminous points, you can really start customizing your characters how you want to. And it's really
kind of
cool.
It kind of feels like the materia in Final Fantasy VII meets like the level up system in Final Fantasy X, where you have that board, and if you got the right, the sphere grid, and when you have the right stuff, you could do it. But this expounds more on it. Like you could do more, which helps not just you, but your character. Not your character, but your party, so that you'll be able to fight tougher bosses easier.
Yeah, the skill tree actually reminds me a little bit more of Final Fantasy XII's ability board.
Okay.
The PS2 version, not the ones that have come out recently.
The international one. Oh,
the Zodiac Age one.
I'm not. I as much as I love that game, I don't like that level up system. That's why I feel like 12 on PS2 is kind of like the best. Because man, I got almost everybody's board unlocked.
Yeah. Just because, like, the sphere grid, you can take everybody around the sphere grid and have them learn everything if you play long enough, right? Whereas 12, the board is kind of locked to that character, and so it's kind of more like that. But I have to say, like, this story is getting crazier and crazier, and like, I just unlocked the 5th party member. So people who are playing kind of know where I'm at in the game.
Because I think it's 6 party. I think it's a 6-party group.
I'm not sure. I think saying that number at the point where I'm at would be a spoiler, so I don't want to spoil anything.
I thought I was like in one of their cutscenes in in some of their trailers.
You can have 3 people in your party at the same time. That's all I'm going to say.
But as for the whole party together,
I'm not sure what that number is, but where I'm at, if I set a number, it would spoil things for people, I think, and I don't want to do that.
Shoot, people have already beaten that game.
I know. Like, I'm trying so hard to stay offline, like, because like I tweeted about Expedition 33 like 3 or 4 times, and now my entire feed is full of Expedition 33 stuff. Right. And I'm just like, I got to stay offline because this is going to get spoiled for me.
I know it's been more. It's been 2 things, definitely. Game of the Year nominations. Like, it's already, people are saying that this is going to take it for Game of the Year, but I don't know because we haven't finished the year yet. And the soundtrack is like crazily good.
It's amazing. Like, it's amazing. I don't care about music at all. The soundtrack's amazing. It's incredible. The whole thing's free on YouTube and Spotify right now. Like,
and see, this is the thing about it, because I want to play the game, and I probably am going to buy it physically on Best Buy, and then just go pick it up. Like, it's been on my radar because I want to play that and South by Midnight. Like, those 2 games are like my next Xbox games that I want to play. I haven't heard no music for the game, so I'm not trying to hear anything until I personally play, because I'm like,
it's like the soundtrack's like a mix like the soundtrack's all over the place, right? Like there's like traditional classical JRPG style music. There's like French choir singing type music.
Mm-hmm.
And then like depending on what you're doing or where you're at in the game, there's like hip hop music and there's like jazz music and then there's like some like tropical bongo music in certain places. It's wild. And the fact that they found this guy like they found the composer of the soundtrack in a Reddit thread, and the director clicked on his SoundCloud link, and listened to his music, and that's how they found their music composer. And then like I guess their writer was like writing like part-time, like writing this game part-time while he was working like another kind of nasty job, right? Like wild. It's wild.
Because they're at, last time I checked, they were at 2 million sales.
Yeah, that was as of like what, 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yes, because everybody's trying to be, and so no disrespect to them or anything, but I feel like it's kind of wrong. People want to use them, like use this game and this number to debate about the $80 price of games and all, and it's just like, and that's why big respect to them and to Square Enix at Final Fantasy, where they were just like, both games could exist and be great in their own way, and we could give respect and praise for a team with a debut game that's successful. I'm like, that's what we want. Like, there's been so many news about companies closes because a game didn't sell. And so when something like this happens, you should celebrate it. You shouldn't weaponize their success.
Right. But the thing too is like, so this studio, outside of like, you know, the core of the studio, the main employees of the studio, there's only 30 people at this studio. Right. And so 2 million units is a lot of units for a 30 person studio, right?
Yeah.
I think I heard this somewhere, but their studio is actually 33 people, and that's why it's called Expedition 33, because it's 33 of them out on a journey, their first, you know, whatever, which is kind of neat. But like, you know, 2 million units to a team of like 500 is not a lot, right? Like if you know, Final Fantasy sold what, 3.6 million units or whatever, Final Fantasy 16, and those aren't great numbers for Square Enix, right? Of course, it was only on one platform and not 3 like this is, and Square should have done something different about that. But regardless, like, your success is all about your expectations, and, you know, versus like paying your bills and your employees, right? Like there's a lot of things that determine success, and I'm glad this company found success. And I didn't even get to the battle system yet, Ed, like at all.
Well, that's been one of the problems that people have been complaining about the game with the parrying.
Maybe they should just learn how to time parries, because I've had 0 issue parrying.
Well,
you have to learn the patterns of the enemies, guys. You can't just hold the parry button down and hope for the best. You got to time it. It's not that it's not hard. People are just whiny babies. I don't understand why people think it's hard.
Well, it's because I can understand if the parrying of the response time was off, but from a lot of people who have like perfected the parrying or who like understand the system, they said it's not the response time, just like you said, Corey, just like you got to learn these patterns and get good at it.
The biggest problem I have with the game is actually like there are platforming challenges, and this game is not a platformer. Like moving in this game is like serviceable for a JRPG, right? But like it is not made for precision platforming. And there are like, when you get to like the gestural beaches, which are like these side things that allow you to unlock swimsuits for everybody. There's other platforming challenges too, but like it's like this this game is not made for platforming challenges. Some of the platforming reminds me of like early Assassin's Creed when you try to like climb sideways or up or whatever, and then your character just jumps off randomly. That's what it reminds me of. And it's like, well, I guess that fits because they all came from Ubisoft. But so it's, again, it doesn't hinder the main part of the game, which is a JRPG. But if you're encouraging people to do these platforming challenges to, find secrets and costumes and hairstyles for people in the game, like maybe you should have spent a little bit more time on how these characters move throughout the world. It's to the point too, like walking around and moving throughout the world kind of isn't great. Yeah. Except for Lune, the one of the girls in your party. She floats, like she hovers. And so like I use her to travel the world because like she hovers and she doesn't have that weird like jerky movements that some of the characters have when they walk or run around. She just kind of glides through the area, and that's made the game a lot easier. More, not easier, but just like a lot more satisfying to move around the world. So I would recommend, because you can be any character at any time to walk around the world. You don't have to play as the character they tell you to play as, or like the protagonist of the game. You can be anyone. So that's made the experience much nicer to me. I also use her for the platforming challenges because like sprinting with her, she just glides faster. So like it's easier to not have that sprinting jerky movement, right? If your thumb slips on the stick or you're not running straight, right? Her kind of area of effect sprint is a little bit more forgiving than everybody else's. So, but the combat and the parrying system is the dodging and the parrying, like the way it has players engage with the battle system, even though it's a turn-based game, is very refreshing, especially as someone who came off of a 90-hour plus stint with Fire Emblem. Where essentially I got so bored of the combat that I just hit auto battle because I just wanted to get through. And like I really think the parrying stuff is fun, especially if you get the perfect parry, right? And you get an enemy that swings at you 3, 4, 5 times, and you get that perfect parry, and then you get this slow down like bullet time almost, and like you do this massive counterattack, and it'll do like. So, like, say my base damage is like 1,000 hit points or whatever on this enemy. Dude, you get that perfect counterattack and you have the right pictos and abilities attached. I went from doing 1,000 damage to this counterattack doing like 7,000 and 8,000 damage.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it's cool. I think the parry mechanic is so much fun. Partway through the game, they do add a second parry mechanic, which I think is probably the one people are complaining more about. Because like it slows down to let you know that it's this, you have to use this parry. Like there's 2 different ways they show you which parry to use. Like, and this second parry is like, they slow down the game a little bit. The game turns black and white and, like grayscale essentially. And that's how it tells you to use this other parry. But the response time is also much faster with this second parry. And a lot of people have just started dodging instead of using this parry because it's, the hit timing and whatever is just not great. Also, there are certain enemies in the game where their basic attack also looks like this other attack that requires you to do that second parry. Mm-hmm. And you can't really tell if they're going to use it until it's, maybe it's just me being dead tired and not, trying to pay attention, but not really. Uh, so I think also like that is really making people not care for the parry system too much. Just because there's two types of parrying and there's two different ways that you have to remember which is which and whatever. But I think the basic parrying is fine. And if I'm not 100% sure, I just dodge because the dodge window is much nicer
Easier.
than the parry system. But I really think this game is special. I think even if you're not into JRPGs, you should at least try it out, especially if you have Game Pass on PC or Xbox. Like, this game gives me a lot of Lost Odyssey vibes too.
Ooh.
In the ways that like the characters interact with each other and just how dire the world is, right? And like kind of what they're fighting for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It really gives me those vibes. And yeah, I think it's going to make a top favorite games of all time list for me.
Oh,
Probably closer to the top.
I think it's going to probably be big in the bossies this year. Like,
yeah,
I kind of feel like that. Even if it was just like a nomination of role playing game of the year, I'm like, no, this is probably going to end up in music. This is probably going to be in our top 5, top 10 game list. Like,
yeah.
it now, really feels. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and now that GTA got moved, I think this game's just a shoe in for everything.
You know what? I really think, even if even if GTA 6
was coming out,
I think Expedition 33 would still take it. I'm not knocking GTA 6, which probably some people expect me to, but I can't knock it till I play it. I don't think that game has enough going on for it to surpass Expedition 33. Like, only when after that trailer came out, everybody was posting the shirtless pics of the main character, of the guy. And it's just like, okay, that's great. We're seeing all of these cutscenes. That looks beautiful. Right. Hellblade 2 made the game look even better. Like, Hellblade 2 looks better than GTA 6. And I don't care what anybody says.
Well,
like,
it's also a much smaller game. So they can use those resources to make character models in a dark space and not in a massive open world like.
But Rockstar got coin. Rockstar has coins. So
I mean, that too. I don't know, man. GTA 6 looks really good. Like, visually. I don't care about GTA, but it looks really
GTA good. 6 looks good for cutscenes. I want to see some actual gameplay level. Like, I want to see.
The whole last trailer was all in-engine and gameplay. What are you talking about?
That was all cutscenes to me.
No, it was not. Whatever. We're not here to talk about GTA. I'm just saying, like, this.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, look, you guys are cyberpunking.
He's not going to trash GTA. Hold on while he trashes GTA.
No, I'm just going to say this. Y'all must are getting close to cyberpunking this, and you know how that worked. Don't get to that cyberpunk alien. What was the one? Alien
they delayed the game a year, unlike Cyberpunk. So,
where Cyberpunk had like 6 delays. It still came out looking a mess. But that was then. That was then. This is now. I think. Go ahead, Corey.
I think this game deserves every single piece of praise that it's getting.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that I'm going to say something else really controversial right now. Again, I haven't beaten it, so maybe I'll think differently once I get to the end, but I really hope that this is a one-off. Like, they're not going to make a sequel to it. Or if they explore more of this world, they go backwards and not forwards. So,
well, they probably
again, I haven't finished it, and I know that New Game Plus also adds some stuff to the game, so we'll see.
I wonder. And this is mostly me, everybody. So take this as a really hot take. With add some hot sauce if you want to add it on. I feel like personally, if Expedition 33 does it for me when I play it. I have a feeling that I'm like, And if I play Mario Kart World and I feel like, Expedition 33 might have a challenge if Mario Kart World is like literally amazing. Like, everybody knows I'm a Nintendo fan. I will put stuff up against Nintendo games at any time, and most likely Nintendo will win. Sorry about the favoritism.
Yeah, but I would put Donkey Kong in that race before Mario Kart, no pun intended. Like, I feel like Donkey Kong is going to be the one that people look at and be like, that's an evolution of a game, of a franchise.
Yeah.
Where Mario Kart, okay, yeah, it's open world, but there's been open world games with secrets for decades now, right?
But if Mario Kart World does something that and I'm not just saying that the something for people to say that, well, it's just a Nintendo game, of course it's supposed to do, like, if it does something that equals or surpass Expedition 33, I'm not knocking that game or anything because I haven't played it or anything. I feel like that's going to be like the competition game, the 1v1. Like, who's going to take it? Is it going to be Breath of the Wild or God of War? Like, it's going to be that kind of versus. Because right now, Expedition 33 don't have no versus just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see at the end of the year. It doesn't really matter to me at this point. Like, I'm glad that this game is, like, I mean, I've said this a couple times on the show, specifically around Nier, right? Like, everybody always says, like, these games are like they hype it up so much on Twitter and like, this is the best game ever, and then you see that person, tweet that same thing about 6 other games that year, and then they restart the next cycle, right? Like, so like, you never really know if this game is going to be the best thing ever, right? But like, this game is special regardless of how you feel about the quality of it, and if you play it and you stick through it, it's going to stay with you for a long time. And I mean, even LaRon is playing it and liking it, so
that's nice.
He stepped away from Monster Hunter to play this game. So.
I still need to get Monster Hunter Wilds. Like,
I did. I played about 2 hours of it. And I'm like, I really want my $70 back, please.
PAX is over with. PAX is over with. I gotta go get my car sticker. Once that's over with, I'll be good to go till ? Trip to Ohio and PAX West. So, well, I'm not going to be long, Corey, with mine. So Master Boy in the Cursed Kingdom, I'm playing on Xbox. I started playing Fantasy Life, the girl who steals time. I've been hearing a lot of great things. I've been enjoying it. I just started the game today. I haven't played much of it, so I cannot wait to play more. It is fun. It's goofy. It feels good. Looks great on the OLED in handheld mode. Like, really looks nice and crisp. And just started playing it on the TV. I was just playing the game on handheld just to see how it runs and stuff, and it was running really good. I haven't had no hiccups or no problems with it. When I was on my PAX East trip flying to PAX and flying back, I was playing the second Batman Telltale game. Like, I'm on chapter 2, getting ready to get into chapter 3. Been having really fun with that. I just defeated the Riddler off the ship, and now I'm working for the Walker. People who know her as the black that black woman. That's like, I guess she's a head of the CIA or some special kind of group and stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm working with her and stuff. But definitely enjoying that. I downloaded the demo for Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. And this is a game that I played at PAX East last year. And these developers, they're from Brazil. and I got to talk to them. I got to do an interview with them. And the game was supposed to come out in August on PC, but I guess they got some extended time, and yeah, they put the demo out on Switch. But I think it's coming to all consoles though. So it is getting a console release along with the PC version with it. But we'll talk about that in later on in the show. Yeah. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. Once I finish Monster Boy in the Curse Kingdom, then I'm gonna probably move on to hopefully South by Midnight and Expedition 33. I'm trying to move on from that. And then I'm going to be playing more of my Switch games, trying to get the backlog done. Because I started up like Blossom Tale 2 also, so I just want to get that stuff done and out of the way. Like a lot of games that I got on Switches that's been on backlog, I'm literally working on trying to get. Because it's going to be a busy summer, I should say that.
No, it's not.
As you smile. So, Corey, should we talk a little bit about our pickups or anything?
Sure. I mean, I bought Expedition 33 physically. So there's that, but I also got my first two Switch 2 I guess accessories you would call them, but I bought a case, which I don't really know where it's at the moment, so I should probably look for that. I got a case and I got screen protector, a set of screen protectors, so my Switch 2 will be protected.
Oh, nice. Go ahead. I'm sorry if I interrupted. Didn't mean to.
I know I'm done.
Oh, like I mentioned earlier, I picked up 100 Line Last Finish, this game from Marvelous. I also picked up Duck Detective on Xbox. This is a cozy game for Wholesome Games. I picked that up, and yeah, just those two right now. I think I got a third game, but I got it like for Xbox, and I cannot think of it. And Pipistrello and the Curse Yo-Yo is supposed to be coming in this week. Like I said, I ordered it from PM Studios. It's coming from Canada. So when I looked at it, I checked how it's a little bit expensive in Canada, but using the US dollars, it was like about 65 some dollars. So I'm excited for that to come in. It's like the collector's edition. I'm super excited to play that game. So that's pretty much my pickups. Like I mentioned, my Pro Controller. I think I need to see. I don't know if I should be looking at some amiibos that's supposed to be dropping. Because I don't know. Like I know there's some Zelda amiibos that's supposed to be coming.
Yeah, there's 4 Zelda amiibo, 3 Street Fighter ones, and then they've been reissuing some Smash Brothers ones. So, like Ness was one that they reissued recently. GameStop got a bunch of them in stock, I guess. So take that how you will. Since we like talking about trash companies today.
Shit, I'm still trying to find a GameStop sometimes. Be like,
yeah, dude, there's the closest one is like 25 minutes away from me now. It used to be like if I really wanted to, I could walk there. It used to be that close.
Because was it the one when we were there? Mm-hmm. Did that one leave?
Now. Yep, it's gone.
Okay.
Now. Yep. RIP GameStop. It's sure taking them a lot longer to die than I thought it was. Not that I want anybody to lose their jobs, but also like
yeah. So
that's all I can do.
Well, Corey, how about we get into Femi News? Take it away.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of news. This is really bottom of the barrel stuff. Essentially, there was some other stuff and other news out there, but I'm gonna be honest, not worth talking about, in my opinion. But
yeah,
Mario Kart World, everybody. Guess what? Originally in development for Switch 1. So Nintendo initially developed Mario Kart World for the original Switch, but encountered hardware limitations such as difficulties supporting 24-player races, maintaining high frame rates, and which led to compromised visuals and performance. The development team considered reducing the frame rate to 30 FPS, but ultimately decided to shift the project to Switch 2, enabling to realize the full vision of the game. The transition allowed them to implement the expansive world tracks, enhanced gameplay features, culminating in the game's launch alongside the Switch 2, which is why the booster course pass exists, was to give them more time to work on this one. So I would say that was a win for everybody. Because the booster course pass was amazing. Well, maybe amazing is too much, but it gave us some really great tracks and really great stuff. So
I didn't feel like a whole nother game in the sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was essentially Mario Kart 8 2.
Pretty much. Second wave.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have very much else to say about this. It was just interesting to hear that this was in development for Switch 1 initially, which is like that far out though. Like, you're pretty much putting this at the end of the life cycle, and this would have been probably one of the Switch 2 upgrades anyway, so this is probably the better choice anyway.
I assume that they probably, I think they probably was starting it in halfway through the Switch life cycle, and then started working on porting it to, not porting it to Switch 2, just deciding just like, okay, let's just make it for the next console and everything.
Yeah. So good choice by them, I would say.
Because I know everybody wanted 9. Just like, no, let them to the cook. Let them design. Let them create.
Yeah. All right, our next story ad. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 devs use procedural generation to handle 100,000 plus assets. Monolith Soft, the developer of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, utilized procedural generation to manage over 100,000 in-game assets, a significant increase from the 1,000 to 2,000 assets typically created manually for previous titles. By incorporating tools like Houdini, the team automated asset placement, allowing developers to focus more on the core game design, enabling artists to make direct adjustments without programmer intervention. The approach streamlined development and enhanced the game's expansive environments.
Yeah, and they said it's not AI or anything.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, procedural generation's been around forever. I mean, 90% of the roguelikes that everybody plays and likes these days are all procedurally generated. So,
yeah. And I don't think that's like a major thing or a bad thing. Like, well, they used it so that the production of this game could be easier, which is, look, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of the best RPGs that I played in a long time. Still love that game. So I'm not bothered or mad about this. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about the procedural generation of assets. If the game was procedurally generated, I would be.
You would throw
whatever.
You wouldn't throw your Switch. You should throw your game out.
I've never thrown anything in my life, Ed. I've never broken controllers ever by throwing them or bashing them against the table, or
as your eyes keep starting left to right with the head. It's bad that you do it with the eyes if you look, but when you start moving the head, you just like, oh no, he's just lying to everybody. What game it is, I do not know.
Let's see. I don't know. All right. I don't have
can
anything
tell
else.
you, I've never thrown a controller, but Strider on the NES, I couldn't stand down the wall jump. It never worked, and I just threw the controller down. I almost got into tears. I'm like, this game is garbage. I was not even questionable content. The game is garbage. Play Strider at the arcade or Sega Genesis.
Next story. I don't have anything else to say about that. Our last story, like I said, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Unless something happens like on a Sunday or
and we're not gonna touch we're not gonna touch the Randy Pitchford story. That's
no
stupid.
Like I said, there's things that aren't worth talking about. Nintendo's focused on opening the Orlando theme park this week, right? And by all accounts, it's like what you would expect, right? Like it's.
They have two. So it was the Nintendo store first, and then it's this opening, the park opening, right?
The Nintendo store in San Francisco opened, and then this opened last Thursday, I think. Which, by the way, I see all these like. I saw so many people saying that the influencer and media event that they held for the park before it opened to the public was much busier than the park was when it opened.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I saw a lot of people saying that because like I follow a lot of like Disney YouTube channels, right, on Instagram specifically, like Disney Food Blog and Mammoth Club and a lot of these other ones. And they were all kind of saying the same things, and like Disney Food Blog's been around forever. Like they've been around for like over a decade, so I really trust them. And allears.net Mammoth Club spun out of them, and they've been around forever, so like I trust them too. So yeah, it's I mean, look, I've never had like the itch to go to Universal ever, right? I just the one time I was there left such a bad taste in my mouth because like half the stuff was broken, it was dirty, like they try to do the Disney thing, like it feels like Disney on a Disney World on a budget, essentially, right? Because like you should go to what is it? Oh my gosh. I'll have to send you this YouTube channel. I forget what it's called. But they've been around forever too, like theme park. Gosh, why can't I think of it? It's bothering me. But essentially they went through and like the Marvel stuff specifically, right? They were like, here's how Universal Orlando does it, because Universal has the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And Disney's not allowed to use it in Orlando, which is why there's hardly any Marvel stuff in Orlando. But here's how Disneyland in California does Marvel, and they were like doing costume comparisons and like character comparisons and meet and greet comparisons, and it's like this Universal just looks like a really bad convention cosplay character.
I've been to Universal when I think I went there twice. I think I went there for my 8th grade field trip, and I believe we went to no, we didn't go to Universal for choir. So it was just my 8th grade trip that I went to. I didn't do it for my high school senior vacation and stuff, or choir vacation. I didn't do that. But like I remember because it had Nickelodeon there and everything. So that was like the last time or the only time I've been at Universal, and I haven't ever been there since. I haven't, to actually tell you the truth. I think I went to Disney in Florida twice. I haven't actually been there for a trip. You know, like how you go, like you get a package deal and everything, and you guys go and stuff. I would love to do that. Take a trip there, and see how the package and do a package. But like I haven't been like I haven't been back to Universal since like 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't been to Universal in like so long. Like I was there before like the Harry Potter stuff was there, so like that tells you how long it's been. But like I just have no interest in going to Universal.
I mean, I would like to go to Universal for the Nintendo stuff. I just don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah, but I'm not paying $135 just to go see the Nintendo stuff. Like I'm not.
Oh, understandable.
And like, I'm like, okay, yeah, the Harry Potter stuff's cool too, but you have to see it all. You have to go to all 3 parks, which means you have to pay for 3 tickets, right? Or like whatever their version of Disney's Park Hopper is, which is not cheap either. So it's like, I'm not.
But you know me, I'm a Six Flags kind of guy. Like, or
yeah, true. And I'm not interested in Six Flags at all. Mostly because like the last time I was at a park like that, I was like too tall in like couldn't get on half the rides because the shoulder harnesses wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
So because apparently like you have to be under 6 feet to ride all these things at like Cedar Point specifically.
Which I want to go to. Like that's the kind of theme park I am, like roller coaster kind of theme park with some little kids rides and stuff like that. But you know, I'm like that coaster guy. Like I want to get on this next coaster, get on this coaster. Like that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah. My gosh, these fireworks, dude. Sounds like people are getting shot outside.
Oh, they haven't even started that in our area.
Oh, man, it's just yeah. So I don't know. They're focused on the theme parks, and which is great. I'm glad they're finding some sort of success in that realm. I still think they could have probably done it on their own. Maybe I mean, at least if you're going to partner with Universal, just make a Nintendo theme park and not shove it into a corner of one of your existing ones. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if any company has the IP to do it the way that Disney does, it would be Nintendo, right? At least for one theme park, maybe not 4 or 12 or whatever, however many Disney has around the world these days. But like, you know, I mean, you could do one, right? Like, and kind of just use that blueprint wherever you kind of want to put them. But I don't know. It really bothers me that they just kind of shoved it into the corner of one of their theme parks
and called it a day.
Yeah, it like really bothers me that they did that. You know, like, anyways, I can complain about that for 3 more hours, and I don't really want to. The last story here is NetherRealm is done with Mortal Kombat 1 support, and they have shifted their focus on their next project. While the game will continue to receive balance adjustments and fixes, no additional DLC characters or story chapters are planned. The studio has not disclosed details about their upcoming project, but a lot of fans are speculating about a potential Injustice 3, which would make sense considering they're owned by Warner, and that game sold really well. Also, the only reason why I bought that game was because they put the Ninja Turtles in it, so which is like how I want the Ninja Turtles to look in like a real game. But we're never going to get that. I want Rocksteady to make that Ninja Turtles game that was rumored for so long.
Oh,
that would have made a much better game as a service than whatever that game. What was it? Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, it's still on my Xbox because of the price. I think we got it for cheap.
It was $5.
Yeah,
the Ultimate Edition was $5,
and it's still on my system. I haven't started it yet. I need to download it and just start.
I need to play it too. I would like, because I heard like you take away the games as a service thing out of it, like the 12 hours of campaign are serviceable as like a game.
Yes.
But if you try to play it longer than that, you should not.
Ooh, excuse me. But what I was gonna say is like people's true feelings about Mortal Kombat 1 is now coming out, and they're just now saying that they feel like Street Fighter 6 was better and everything. And then this whole thing was just like, yeah, Street Fighter 6 is doing it better. Then everybody just like, well, Tekken 8 is not good and Mortal Kombat 1 is not. I'm like, wait a minute, where did this all nonsense of a discourse come out? I'm like, because Tekken 8 is knocking it. But I'm like, this has to be the fighting community because they're the only ones that's going to be complaining about this. You know, I can understand if y'all want to have feelings about Mortal Kombat 1, but have feelings about that game, the Switch version. Don't have it about the game on Xbox and PC and PS5 and stuff, because like y'all must was playing that mug and sopping it up when it came out. So I'm like, where's this opinion coming from?
Right. Well, you know, it's
the internet.
Yeah, it's fine. I wonder if it'll get a Switch 2 upgrade.
I believe so,
because shout out to Warner Brothers and Avalanche for taking the $10 upgrade path for Hogwarts Legacy. I was totally prepared to drop another $70 on that game to play it on Switch 2, and I got it for $10.
And that's why when we were talking about it, just like personally and stuff, that I thought at first that they weren't going to do it. And then they said, you know, if you got it on Switch, you could just do the $10 and get the upgrade.
Yeah, which is awesome. So good for them. I'm glad that happened. That was good. That was a good move by them. I mean, honestly, they probably did it because the game sold like 40 million units, but
yeah,
on everything else, but which allowed them to kind of just do that. But you know, good on them anyway, right? I mean, I'm sure Avalanche, if it was their choice alone, they would have done it anyway. But you know, Warner Brothers is in such financial whatever that. I mean, look, they went back to HBO Max, so
that nonsense.
I mean, at least they acknowledged it in their marketing campaign that they made the mistake, right? I don't know if you've been seeing their marketing campaign for HBO Max, but it's like we're rebranding, sort of.
Yeah, like a press release tweet. I'm like, what the nonsense is this?
It was pretty good. I gotta give it to them for the marketing for that, at least. Like, it was. If you know you made a mistake, it's fun to watch people own it and kind of try to make something positive out of it. So I gotta give it to them for that too. That's what new leadership will do for you, I guess. Anyways, that's all the news. I guess we'll move into Pack Watch. Here's what you can play on your Nintendo Switch right now this week. So Ed added games here. I went through the eShop and looked for games, and these were not there when I looked. It was a bunch of AI slop, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna warn everybody that I don't know if Ed thinks these are not AI slop or not. So these are from him.
Okay, before you go, because I pictured you on the other side texting me, cracking up, because she was just like trash.
Dude, I was literally fighting Goldar in a Mastodon battle, okay? Power Rangers while I was texting you that. I was very frustrated. I was very angry at the time.
Then, hold on. What made it funny is that you sent a picture of a trash can, and I'm just like, hold on, wait. Is he saying that the trash should be lit on fire and then closing the lid? I was just over here dying. And I'm just like, no, these games are not trash that I'm picking out. You're just like, AI trash. Trash. And so that's why I thought on your side you were just cracking up, just having a good time.
I was not cracking up. I was actually angry.
Oh no.
That's besides the point, though. Anyways, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Wasn't there another yo-yo game that came out like a year ago? The
Maybe.
like the studio that made a Sonic Adventure inspired game, and you like used the yo-yo as a grappling.
Oh yeah,
Penny's Big Break or something, Big Adventure Break thing. Yeah. Explore a vast urban landscape in this narrative-driven 2D top-down platforming adventure. Great top-down platforming. That sounds great.
And I'll explain after you're done.
In Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, you're a budding yo-yo master facing off. Okay, first of all, the title has a dash in it, and then the word yo-yo in the description does not. So, points off for that. Sounds like an AI.
It is not. No.
Sounds like an AI generated description. Master facing off against enemies using the weapon you know best, your prized yo-yo. Okay, it said yo-yo in the 3 times in the same sentence. Jeez. As Pippet, you'll be quite literally thrown into the shocking story of your auntie's business empire, a soul-stealing mega laser, and 4 dastardly crime bosses.
Okay, so everybody, it's in the style of a Game Boy Advance. It's a Zelda adventure game. That's what they were going for. Pocket, not Pocket Pair. Is it Pocket Pair? I think it's Pocket Pair.
Yeah, this definitely was not on the eShop when I scrolled through it this morning.
Yeah, because
I would have noticed this.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful game. Like I said, I played it at PAX East. It's my number one. It was my number one game from when I left PAX East, and I got to play it during our media hour. And so I seen it, and I sat down, and I got to talk to one of the developers. The team is from Brazil. I think he was one of the I think lead directors or one of the assistant directors there. And I played it. And this is what made me fall in love with PM Studios. I sat down and got to play it, like was one of the first to play it before PAX East opened up to everybody, and fell in love with it, and was just like, oh, I need this game now. I'm like,
this looks more like a Zelda game than a
that's what I said.
Game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was watching. I was half listening, but also I was watching the trailer and the sound was loud. So sorry if you said that.
Yeah, I love. I'm not. It was supposed to be out in August on Steam. And they were thinking about consoles later. But I guess they ended up delaying it. They probably ended up getting more money in their budget and stuff, and now it's coming out for almost everything. But and I don't know how long the game is going to be, but when they said, when I played it, I'm like, oh, this is pure Game Boy Advance. Like, you guys you knocked it. If you actually put this on the Game Boy Advance, everybody probably would have been buying this game. And like one of the filters that you use in the game is in the style of a Game Boy Advance. So like, I'm super excited to get my copy and play this game. And it's only $19.99 on the eShop. I think it's going to probably be that price everywhere and stuff. So I'm like, I want to see more of this game, and it's just so cool. And I'm super excited for that team, for Pocket Pair, with this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Wait. There are 13,000 people in line waiting for
not Pocket.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Pocket Trap, everybody. That's the developer. Is Pocket Trap, not Pocket Pair, but Pocket Trap. Yeah. So, and the demo is, if you guys want to try it out, the demo is available on the eShop. So you guys can give that a try. If it's your cup of tea, Hopefully you guys will pick it up on May 28th.
Nice. I was reading this thing. There are 13,000 people in a digital queue to pre-order the collector, the second release of the collector's edition for Expedition 33.
Oh wow!
So, I want it, but I don't know.
I wouldn't pre-order it because I'm just like, it's just items and not the game. Like
like I said, if it was like a statue of the characters, I'd be more inclined to wait in line for it. But anyways, let's see. Where's my doc? Here it is. Okay. Also on May 28th, Steam Heart Saturn Tribute. Return of the hardcore and sexy sci-fi vertical scrolling shooter. Of course, you would put a scrolling vertical shooter in here. Players can obtain.
Wait. You heard about that and not the word sexy? It's like, okay.
Dude, I've been playing Expedition 33. That is one sexy game. Okay, I don't.
Go ahead.
No, I'm thinking about Expedition 33 now. Players can obtain and power up 2 types of main shots and 6 types of sub-weapons. Utilize special techniques such as the, quote, weapon crash, which temporarily boots sub-weapons, and the boost ability, which lets you momentarily accelerate to dodge enemy attacks. Master these skills to suppress the oncoming enemies. It sounds like a fake game. I gotta look this up. Gotta look it up. Fake news.
No fake news. I mean, it's anime, everybody. It has Japanese anime, but that's part of the cutscenes, but it is a vertical shooter. It's supposed to I
totally skipped over this because I thought it was anime AI trash.
No.
Because that's what it looks like. That's what this cover art looks like. It looks like late 80s, early 90s. This is the AI prompt that they probably entered. Late 80s, early 90s anime in the style of Dragon Ball, but not too obvious.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a tribute to the Sega Saturn and games on there.
It looks like that original like Lunar box art. If I'm going to be honest, like that style, kind of this washed out anime look.
Look, I still haven't picked that up. That game came and went. Nobody's talking about that thing. I'm like, ooh, okay.
I feel like people were complaining that they wanted their physical copies, and Amazon promised it wouldn't sell out, and then they sold out. And now people can't get it. Because it was exclusive to Amazon here in the US.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's like, well, Amazon says a lot of things. Okay.
Okay.
They also said they were going to compete in cloud gaming, and Luna is like a fart in the wind to them. So is Twitch, whatever. Tasty. That's it for the games that are coming out. Let's talk about expansions. Like I said, Ed's fake games. You can play them now, I guess.
They are not fake.
Play at your own risk.
No. People sure in the curse show, everybody. Please play that demo and
play at your own risk.
I know it's everybody's.
It could crash your system. There's viruses in it.
No.
It's probably some sexy anime lady puzzle game.
No. That's the dance game that's on the eShop.
Okay, so here's expansions, DLC, and updates to games you could be playing right now, including an update for Alarmo, the alarm clock. It has introduced a free Animal Crossing New Horizons theme, adding island-inspired scenes to the device. Users can download the update by connecting Alarmo to the internet. This follows themes featuring Mario, Splatoon, and Mario Kart. The latest update for Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is out, enhancing gameplay and increasing travel speeds for both boat and Ramia flights. Is that how you say that? Ramia?
I think so.
Introduces shortcut feature for assigning spells and abilities and implementing various balance adjustments and bug fixes. Atelier Yumiya is second update is here, introducing the new charisma difficulty mode and expands building options with Riza themed architecture and functional modules like the energy sphere and projector, along with various bug fixes and quest progression improvements. New games on Nintendo Switch Online added 4 new Game Boy games this week. Gradius Interstellar Assault, Kirby Star Stacker, Survival Kids, and The Sword of Hope. So those are the games you can play on
some
Game
of these
Boy.
Some of these I haven't heard of.
I haven't heard of any of these games. So there you go.
Kirby,
I mean, I know what Gradius and Kirby are, but you know,
right. Survival Kids is sort of whole I've never heard of.
In terms of Nintendo Music, Kid Icarus has been added, so you can listen to some Kid Icarus if you would like. All right, Ed, it's question block time.
Question block.
If you have topics, comments, questions, or thoughts, you can send them in to us. You can post them in the Nintendo Pow Block question block channel on the Discord. You can leave them in the comment on the YouTube video. You can drop them in the free Patreon thread, or even look for the social media threads on Twitter and Blue Sky and all those other places. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to schedule this stuff out so it goes out, 2 or 3 days beforehand, instead of just trying to do it an hour before the show because I'm terrible at this. But a lot of the regulars write in anyway, so we encourage our regulars to keep writing in, but we also encourage new people to write in as well. Sam Hall writes in, if you could bring back one forgotten Nintendo franchise with a full modern remake or sequel, what would it be, and what would you change or keep?
We could bring back one forgotten Nintendo franchise. No, everybody not going to say Uniracers. Wouldn't do that.
Why not? You can say Excite Bike.
But Excite Bike came back though. I would definitely bring Hotel Dust Room 213. I know they just renewed the trademark for it, but like 215. I'm sorry, not 213. 215. Hotel Dust Room 215 from the DS. I would definitely bring that back. And give it got a sequel, but Sing never brought that sequel to America. So I would redo that game. I would redo both games, and then give it a third game to wrap it up. Like, I think that game needs a trilogy. But that would be my answer. What would I change for it? I think if I had to change anything, because the game was voice acted, I think, on the DS. But I think I would probably add some cutscenes into this game. For
me, man, so I thought a lot about some of these games. Like, so there's a lot of franchises I would love to see come back, and like I would love to see like 1080 snowboarding or Wave Race or Pilot Wings come back. Right, I think that would be really fun to see those franchises come back. And then I think of franchises like Dylan's Rolling Western that's kind of stuck on the 3DS, and obviously you can't buy that anymore. So like,
yeah,
something like that would be cool. But the franchise, Ed, that I would love to see come back, that I think people have probably forgotten about or just don't know about in general, Pushmo. I would love to see a new Pushmo game, which, if you are unaware, Pushmo was this really cool. How much was it? It was like $5 or $10, right? Like it was
like five to
very,
7.
yeah, it was like a very cheap, interesting way to show off the 3DS's 3D capabilities, right? Like you pretty much, you were like tasked to kind of climb this wall and pushing and pulling blocks to create a way up this wall, right? And there were probably like, I don't know how many puzzles you think were in this game. There were probably close to 40 or 50, right? Yeah. So, I would love to see that come back. Obviously, you couldn't do the 3D stuff, right? But I think you could implement stuff like Joy-Con stuff in an interesting way. Like, maybe if you had to like find a way up, and instead of pushing blocks, which pushing and pulling blocks would probably still be a core mechanic, right? But like, oh, well, you gotta turn this wheel or something, and you had to use the Joy-Cons as like a mouse, like you would in Drag X Drive or whatever. And oh, you gotta, do some motions like 1-2 switch to do something, right? Like add some kind of unique controls that only the Switch can kind of do, right? And
I would love a collection.
Yeah, I mean, Crash Mo and Stretch Mo were like, they were okay, but Push Mo's really amazing. The Wii U one was cool too, but it would really require a second screen, right? Like, and unless that patent is real and they're going to sell a second screen at some point later, like, I don't know if you could do that one, but Pushmo World on Wii U was really fun too.
Because like Box Boy kind of got the that treatment, and as a collection that came out. So I'm just like, why not Pushmo? Like that game, even though it is it is puzzling for some things. I'm like, it was still a great puzzle game to sit back and just spend time with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also I've talked about Kid Icarus on this, how I think it would be like really awesome to see it go the Breath of the Wild route and just kind of become this kind of open world RPG-esque, maybe not maybe not like a full RPG the way that Xenoblade is, but just kind of like, oh, well, you've kind of upgraded your shoes so you can run faster, and like, I don't know, something like that, right? Like how vast Breath of the Wild is, but make it vertical, right? Kind of take more advantage of the Sky Island style thing from Tears of the Kingdom, and make whole worlds in layers, essentially, right? I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Get rid of the difficulty. I don't want hard games. Kid Icarus 1 super hard. Also, don't give me a shelf to put my controller on, because the controls don't work right with it. Remember the 3DS came with that that like shelf because people's hands were cramping.
And the funny thing is, I beat Kid Icarus without so I beat Kid Icarus on the NES without the code, without the Medusa code. I went through that whole game the way that it was intended. That's why I hate the eggplant and everything. But yeah, I played Kid Icarus all the way through.
Yeah, Kid Icarus. I think it's one of those franchises that could probably do really well for them. I could see it going, like, if they did it right, I could see it becoming the next kind of Breath of the Wild game, like selling a ton because of how interesting and cool it is.
Now, I was thinking of Kung Fu, even though that was like Data East. I didn't know that the NES version was ported by Nintendo, because Miyamoto worked on it. I'm like, oh really? I didn't know that. So I was gonna say Kung Fu, and just, or like the original one, just like get that game a remake, and make it a beat 'em up, a one player beat 'em up or something.
Yeah. All right, our next question, Ed. Looking back, this is from Michael D. Michael D.
Yeah.
Looking back, which Nintendo console do you think had the most underrated library of games?
GameCube.
Let me share with you guys a little thing that Ed and I have been doing over the course of the last month or so. We've been going over the launch titles for each generation, but we've also been talking a lot about the libraries of those games. So you should check out Expansion Pass right now.
Yeah. And if you want to learn about those, sign up for our Patreon. You get the good stuff early.
Yeah, 2 weeks early. Over on patreon.com/Boss Network for as little as $1 a month.
Yes.
So I mean, for me, like the Wii U is like the clear winner for me. Like, I think the GameCube over time, the library has been appreciated, right? And you know, obviously the Wii U games, 90% of them have made their way over to the Switch at this point, minus you know, what, 4 major titles, I would say. So
and that's why I said like GameCube, because like it would have been GameCube first, Wii U second, and then that's pretty much it. Because like even if I said Nintendo 64, I'm like the N64 changed gaming for a lot of genres.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of acknowledges that the N64 library was pretty great, really, across the board, especially like, you know, between Mario 64 and Zelda and Mario Kart, and then Rare's output, right? And
GoldenEye, 007. Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little questioning, I think, of how, even if those games don't hold up today, at the time they were like very impressive. So,
like me and Josh Martinez, you know, when we talk about wrestling games and like THQ, the N64 was the system for wrestling games. So, but I just think GameCube, because so many people were into the PS2 and a little bit of the Xbox, and they thought Nintendo was still so kiddie with their first party games.
The Xbox questionable. People were into Halo and, you know, maybe Fable and Knights of the Old Republic.
Pretty much, yes.
Nobody was clamoring for Azaric to be the next Zelda game, right?
Yeah, but it's just like with GameCube, people just dismissed it because of the design, and you know, just didn't think their library was just so kiddie. But I'm like, if you think about it now, just like seeing everybody reactions to it come to Switch 2, like there's so many games on GameCube that people just miss because they had that idea that Nintendo was just still kidding. But I'm just like, man, they had some hit games from their first party list. You know, of course, I talk about Eternal Darkness. Of course, I talk about Super Mario Sunshine. You know, but like, Nintendo has some really great first party games for that system. And, you know, it took us a long time to get Paper Mario, but I'm like, yes, Smash Bros. Melee is a big thing, but I'm just like, the Fire Emblem series, like, if people really want to get true Fire Emblem, the GameCube has some. 2 of them. Two, not just one of them. You know, and like the original, of course, people got to play the modern version of Pikmin, but like the Pikmin on the GameCube, shoot, Animal Crossing, like if people want the history, like the playing the first game, GameCube was the system for Animal Crossing and everything. Like GameCube had some hits, and just people just thought it was just too kiddie because of the PlayStation 2 was out. And like maybe now with it coming to Switch 2, people will be able to get the chance, like Konami, hop on this mug and give us that twin stick so people could actually play that edition that they never got to play.
Yeah, I wonder if Twin Snakes will end up making it to that collection, the second collection.
And the Wario game that Treasure made, I cannot think of it. Not Wario World Shake It, not that one. But the Wario game that Treasure made for GameCube. It did shoot Mario Party 4 and 5 on GameCube was fun.
Yeah, what are they going to do when you need the microphone for 6 and 7?
Ooh.
I'm kidding, sort of.
If they put out Odama, they could use that.
Yikes. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to play some GameCube, although, like, man, I like how the GameCube, like the 2 of the 3 GameCube games are supported full widescreen and higher frame rates, and Wind Waker is still 4:3 and 30 frames a second, maybe. Oh, that bothers me. You put F-Zero in widescreen and like up the frame rate to 60 frames, and you're not going to do that for Zelda. Come on. Well, I guess that's the excuse to buy the HD version when they inevitably put it out.
Oh yes. Shoot, I really feel like that's a 5 million plus sale for Wind Waker HD on Switch 2.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said that about Skyward Sword also, but it only sold about 3 million, which still is like, I get it, but also like not good compared to like, you look at Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom has sold more than Skyward Sword on the Switch, and like obviously Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild have sold 20 plus million, right? So I don't know. I think that answers the Skyward Sword debacle. Although I would still like to finish that game someday. It's sad when I had to watch YouTube videos to get the full extent of that game, because I just hate playing it. Like, I really hate playing that game. I tried so hard, Ed.
Understandable. It's understandable.
Speaking of trying hard, Ashley writes in, if you could design your own Mario spinoff like Mario Kart or Mario Party, what would the theme be or gameplay hook be? Oh boy, I don't know. I didn't think of this question. I didn't think about this question.
So I would love to do like a Mario cooking game. Mix a Mario cooking game meets coloring book game. So it's just like,
isn't that just Mario Paint?
Well, no, because the thing about it is that
I'm kidding.
Well, it could have been Mario Paint, but I think you get to make desserts and everything from Mario designs, but it depends on what generation that you have. So if you use like, maybe you do cupcake art for Mario, for Princess Peach of now, but you also could do Paper Mario cupcakes. You could do Princess from Super Mario Brothers 2 or something. And like you could do like recipes and stuff based off the Mario games, but also, make designs and stuff, like coloring designs and stuff, and be able to put those cupcakes or whatever, or that food, in a box that you design, and then you can send it off to your friends online. Or with Switch 2, you all get together and talk about like what you're making. Like, you all could come together as a group and make a dessert party or something. And it can be probably like real recipes and stuff for you to make at home. And then everybody could just like probably have a mini game where you could design what kind of box that you want to use and stuff, or
Yeah. Oh man, I really don't know at this point what I would make. because obviously Mario RPGs exist.
I mean, we don't have a Mario beat 'em up yet, so
yeah, but I mean that's kind of Mario 3D World at this point. You can punch and kick in that game. Like that's, man, I'm trying to think of side characters that would be fun to make. Like
because in reality,
actually,
all
here's my idea, Ed. Here's my idea, and I have the same idea for Disney, but they haven't done it yet for some weird reason. Give me the theme park builder. Give me the, they're really into theme parks right now. Like give us the theme park builder. Give us the Mushroom Kingdom. Give us all the Mario game assets that you like. Mario, Donkey Kong, Pikmin. Essentially anything that's not like Zelda or Fire Emblem. At this point.
Are we thinking of like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah. Just give us that. Dude, I've been wanting Disney to do that for so long, and they kind of have a phone game that's like that, but it's like a free to play buy gems to add sidewalks or whatever. Like, I'm not doing that.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Planet Coaster is too technical. Like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 would be, or Roller Coaster Tycoon would be better.
I like Planet Coaster, but like it is so deep and so I don't have time for it. Whereas Roller Coaster Tycoon is just like,
yeah. That's why I say it's just too technical. For Planet Coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean I'm trying to think of what other, because like my spinoff games, I keep going to Zelda for spinoff games. Like I said before, I think like a Ganon themed Souls like would be incredible, would be awesome.
The thing with the spinoffs from Mario is that you really can't. I mean, Luigi has Luigi's Mansion. Mario has his own spin-off games. Toad has Captain Toad, and Princess Peach has her games. So it's just like all four of the main known Mario characters all have their own spin-offs. So like,
you could potentially do like a almost like a Civ style game or Age of Empires style game as Bowser, right? And like make it more of like a single player experience of like, Bowser's trying to take over these regions with, have your Koopas there, right? Like you could do something like that.
Yoshi got his games. Even Myrtle got a game.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like you look at the Mario spinoffs, you have kart, you have tennis, golf. I mean, the next possible thing could be like what, volleyball, wrestling,
right?
Football. What are you? What are you gonna? And like the sports stuff's already taken, right? So like, yeah, I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was thinking like a detective game, even though that's more backtracking stuff.
Yeah, but there's already Mario is missing and like those types of games.
Yeah,
too. Like I mean, not necessarily a detective game, but also like I don't know, it kind of exists, sort of.
But I think like a story-driven narrative game, like with Mario, that you could like walk around New Dunk City and solve like crimes that way or something.
Yeah.
Like all four of your characters are a detective agency, and each of them all have, a case that they have to, solve, and then all of those cases, something in them has something connected, and then at the end, it's your final case, and it brings like all your clues that, and evidence that you had is with you, and then all of them are useful in the last part of it. Something that Capcom could do, like Phoenix Wright or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Our next question comes from Stephen Myers. Man, my nose is getting real stuffy. With the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, what other Nintendo franchise do you think deserves the big screen treatment next, and how would you cast it? So we already know we're getting the Zelda movie, right? Which here's the thing. I really think Florence Pugh would make an excellent Zelda, an excellent Princess Zelda. She's powerful but graceful. She's got the attitude for that role. Like, I really think she would make like the perfect Zelda at this point.
I would need her to cosplay. Vocally, yes. Vocally, yes. I can see her
like
vocally.
How she presents herself in all these movies that she's in, right? Like,
yeah.
I just feel like her, like how she acts and how she presents herself on screen would be an awesome Zelda.
Well, I think because of hearing Zelda in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom vocally, you know, hearing her, it gives us an idea of how Zelda is as a princess. Because you know, of course, all the other games she's talking, but it's, you know, text talk. It's not vocally. And if we go with Florence Pugh, nothing against her, and we hear the voice, we're going to be thinking of the voice actress from the Zelda games. You know, if
but
Florence
I think what Zelda has going for it, though, like as a franchise, is like that franchise changes with almost every single game to the point where, like, oh, this is just this version of Zelda. Like when I think of like a Zelda that she would portray, right? I think of the Twilight Princess Zelda, right? Not necessarily in the way she looks, but like she's a princess, she's regal, but also she has a huge sword that she carries around, and she can clearly like hold herself in battle if she needs to, or like, you know, that kind of thing, and essentially, or like Hyrule Warriors a little bit, or
and that's why I feel like I would need to see a costume on her, because I'm like, of course, we're going to need the long hair. We may need the braids. Is, you know, what happens with the Triforce? Like, you know, or, you know, is she going to be in some kind of white in it, with the arrow and stuff? Like, it's so many iterations of Zelda. How, like, do you incorporate a certain game? Like you said, Twilight Princess, but a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people might think of Breath of the Wild and, you know, and stuff. Even though Twilight Princess is more darker, and that's more fitting for a movie. I think we need a visualization of how would she look in costume. And I'm not trying to say that she can't play Zelda. You know, that's a really good choice. But I'm like, I need to see you in costume and then do a little acting with your voice to give us an idea, because everybody is going to be judged. Everybody's going to be harsh. But I feel like if you could play it off, if your costume could just, this is Zelda, but, you know, you were able to make it closer to the game, but also your idea, your iteration of a movie, I think people will be like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, she's got it and everything. So I think just for me, I would need to see like the costume, because I'm like, girl, you got to give us the long hair. You can't keep your hair short. You if you're gonna do Zelda, you got to give us the long hair, and everything. That's just me.
Yeah, which, I mean, she can definitely do the long hair thing, or like whatever. I just feel like every time this stuff comes out, right, like a fantasy style adventure, and I'm not talking like the Witcher show or anything. I'm talking like I feel like a lot of people just kind of imagine something like Lord of the Rings in their head, right?
Yeah.
And like you look at, Liv Tyler or Kate Blanchett in that series, right? And they're like so elegant and at least they kind of seem like the prototypical style fantasy character woman, right? Like, and I think casting someone like Florence Pugh kind of eliminates that thought, which is something I think you need for Zelda in a way.
Yes.
Especially after Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and even Echoes of Wisdom to an extent. So I don't know. I can't stop thinking about her as Zelda in a movie, and I think it would be pretty awesome, honestly. But that would also mean like the movie would have to focus on Zelda and like the almost the political aspect and the war aspect against Ganon and the thieves and not Link. Like Link, I think if you focus on Link, you're focusing on the wrong aspect of Zelda in a movie,
Well,
in my opinion.
I think because even though the title is called The Legend of Zelda, I think since the game does focus on Link as a protagonist, doing everything, I think finding that balance is going to be hard because if you're going to be focusing on Zelda and the king, we definitely got to get a queen because we don't see none of the queens in the series.
I don't think you need a queen. I mean, I think you can I think you can kind of write that out as like, oh, but the king's wife is dead or whatever. Like,
but I think we need more of a story if we're going to have a Zelda focused movie. Like, we need to know more of the queen. We need to know, how
I don't
does
think
she play a part in this?
Unless there's some sort of like, plot twist in the middle, like the Zonai plot twist, right? Like, I don't know if that's necessary for it to be a successful movie. I think this movie has a lot going against it anyway already.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna if you saying that Link is, Link can't be the focus. If we're gonna do Zelda, if we're gonna do a kind of like or riches or focus on Zelda, there's gonna have to be some gaps filled for as gamers, I should say. As moviegoers, they probably don't care because they don't know nothing about the series. But we're gonna need something more about Zelda because all we know about Zelda is whatever from the games when they introduce her and then she's gone until the end of the game. Or she got some kind of relationship with her father, and that's it. Like, we don't know so much about her history about Zelda and everything because of the games focusing more on the adventure that Link goes on to get her back or to save Hyrule and stuff. We have a ideal of the Triforce, and that depends on which Zelda games you go to. Like, if you do Zelda 1, 2, 3, those games are Triforce heavy. They're all in the 7, 8 pieces or whatever. But then if you go into Ocarina of Time and stuff, really focus on the Triforce because now that Triforce, one is for Link, one is for Zelda, one is for Ganondorf. And that's been the rest of the series when it comes to the Triforce. So I think how they go about it's really up in the air. So I'm excited to see what they do with it and who they go with and how this is all playing out.
Yeah, I would also be really interested to see who they would choose to be Ganon. Something tells me they're going to cast The Rock, and it would make me like, look, I don't have anything against The Rock. I just think there are certain things he shouldn't play. I do think at the way he currently looks, would be Dave Bautista.
That's
Seems
what
like
I'm thinking.
an interesting choice because he's obviously he's lost a ton of weight over the last year, which is good for him, right? Like,
Yeah. He made the decision to tone down and everything.
And I think if he was just like, put on a little, like maybe 10 or 15 pounds of muscle, right? Like not Drax the Destroyer size, but like just like a little bit more imposing than he is now, right? Like I think that would be an interesting choice.
Like
and
the
I know
body
he
weight.
What? Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say the body weight for me. He just needs some more muscle in there, more weight in there. Because
and he already wants to play Marcus in the Gears movie, right? Like he's still campaigning for that. He just put on Instagram that, remember in Gears 5 when they added him as Marcus, you could play as him as Marcus in the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he just reposted that on Instagram because they announced the Gears movie has a director. And so like, he just posted that. So he would have to put on weight for that anyway. You might as well cast him as Ganon too. Get him in there.
Is Gears supposed to be for Netflix?
Mm-hmm. There's going to be a live action movie, and then I guess some sort of adult cartoon for it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not 100% sure. Who knows? I mean, that Gears of War movie's been floating around since 2007, so who really knows?
Right.
It's right up there with the Mass Effect movie, the BioShock movie, and like probably 25 others. I don't know. I think the Zelda movie could be really good if you focus on other things besides Link, because like Link, the first time Link talks, people are going to flip out. People are going to complain, right? They're just going to complain. So you need to take the focus off of Link to even garner some sort of positive reaction to Link not talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am really fascinated to see the Zelda movie. Like, I want to have hope for it. The cast is going to mean a lot. The cast is going to need a lot of work, I guess. Are they going to include the champions from Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Are they going to go the Ocarina route where they have like the leader of each tribe or whatever kind of be there? Who's going to play the big Goron at the top of the mountain that gives you a cool sword that breaks if you don't take them the right materials? Anyways, the question wasn't about the Zelda movie though, because that's already happening.
I do have one for me, but go ahead, Corey.
I think a Star Fox movie would be really fun.
You just took it.
Like a Star Wars adventure style kind of Star Fox movie.
So,
right.
You remember Star Fox Zero had that animated short?
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
Mm-hmm.
And cast the people who voiced it and everything. I don't know who did the animation. I want to say Madhouse, but I think it's someone else. Like, whoever did that animation, make that into a 90-minute movie or a 5-minute movie if you want to. I would definitely take that. That was going to be my answer. Was going to be Star Fox and that animated, like with that animated short, and make it full on. Because you can also do Pikmin. Pikmin would be a nice funny one. A nice like 70-minute adventure.
Yeah, I feel like you know how Pixar does those shorts before every movie?
Yes.
I feel like Pikmin would be like the short before every movie.
And they did do the shorts like for the 3DS and stuff and everything, but I'm like Pikmin as a game, and this adventures and stuff could also be done like in a movie style. It don't have to be long. It don't have to be like 90 minutes. It could be a hour and 15 minutes if they want to. Like, I think there is a way that they could do like the Pikmin, not like treat the Pikmin like they're the Smurfs or anything, but I think from all 4 games, if you could borrow something for those games and make an adventure out of it and give it Miyamoto and talk about a story and create all of that, I think Pikmin could also be a movie. Just a fun ride of a movie.
Yeah. I also think you could do a Fire Emblem movie like Lord of the Rings at some point.
You could do Punch Out as a movie.
I mean, that would be like essentially like a Rocky movie, right? Like, I mean, so I guess that would be it. I don't really have any other interesting ideas.
Xenoblade Chronicles cannot be a movie because those games are already a movie with the cutscenes. Trust me.
That would be like a 30 season long. It would be like Nintendo's equivalent to One Piece at this point, right? Where there's like
pretty much
1,500 episodes and like story arcs that you just don't understand or can't explain.
Xenosaga is already a movie. All 3 games.
Yeah. I just thought of one and now they should do a 1080 snowboarding game that is filmed like a 90s Disney Channel original movie.
Oh my goodness. The camp factor would be so high. I would have to laugh. But is it like a musical also or just
no, like I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Brink, the skateboarding movie. Or the not skateboarding, rollerblading movie.
Yeah.
From Disney. That it would be something like that.
Because it would sure enough be like campy kids 90s style movies. You know, like the 3 Ninjas. And
it's gotta be like that, right? Like it's gotta be really cheesy and campy and dumb.
Right.
But also
you got
fun.
Like you got all the enemies and stuff. They'd be like, oh, like they in the close-ups and stuff.
Yeah, like almost like the tone of like not just a Disney Channel original movie, but look at the original Fast and the Furious, right? Like how just dumb and cheesy that movie and that plotline are, but it takes itself seriously, but not too seriously. You know, that's what it's got to be like.
Yeah.
So. I also think Famicom Detective Club would probably make a good like Amazon or Netflix movie. Not a theatrical movie, but like those plot lines are just weird enough. Almost like Black Mirror.
I don't think it needs to be a movie. I think that one could probably be like a TV series or a TV movie.
Like it's almost like a 10 episode like limited series almost, or like an anthology series like True Detective is or whatever, right? Where like I mean not like True Detective, but you know what I mean.
Because there's like a lot of stuff that comes out from a lot of those cases in those games. So it's just like it may be one major case, but then like 4 other cases come out of it, and then it all connects at the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Nintendo's IP list just to see what might work and what might not. So I see Nintendogs. You know what the first movie that came to my mind was?
Isn't there like a dog movie that Disney did, or talking like Chihuahua or something?
It's Oliver and Company, but that's not the movie that came to my head. It's a similar movie though. All Dogs Go to Heaven was the movie that came to my head.
Oh no! I love All Dogs Go to Heaven and Oliver and Company. I love both of those animated films. Everybody, just to let you know,
All Dogs Go to Heaven is a Don Bluth special, which was the person who almost single-handedly destroyed Disney in the 80s when he left the company and took like all the best animators with him, but none of the story people, which is why his studio eventually failed. You would know all of his movies though. Secrets of NIMH, Fern Gully, Balto,
America's Tale.
American Tail, and Five Goes West.
Goes West. What about the dinosaur one?
Land Before Time? No, not him.
No.
No.
I wonder who did do A Land Before Time.
I don't know. They're apparently making a new movie though. Another one. All right, Ed, let's get to our last question. We could, I don't know.
Those 80s animated movies that weren't Disney were kind of good. I enjoyed a lot of them.
There's something. Where are we? Okay, so our last question comes from Deshaun Malone. How do you feel about Nintendo's strategy of re-releasing older games like Wii U ports or remakes? I feel like we've had this discussion several times, but
I feel great about them. They're needed.
Yeah,
everybody does it, but
I think Nintendo, at least during the Switch era, did a great job of like filling the gaps with some of these games, right? I think with the Switch 2, they're going to have a harder time just because Switch 2 is backwards compatible and so many people bought the Switch that it's going to be hard for them to like straight up re-release games. But I think you're going to see remakes come to Switch 2. Like I still think my original thought stands, right? Where like remakes and remasters of GameCube and Wii games specifically are going to be coming. And that's how you're going to support the Switch while also providing content for Switch 2 while you're working on your quote unquote real Switch 2 games. Obviously, Nintendo Switch Online adding GameCube changes some of that, but Nintendo will sell you anything and you'll buy it, right? I mean, that's just how Nintendo is. GameCube and Wii are prime generations to do that for. I still feel.
There's just a big history with Nintendo in this games that people have missed. Definitely in this new generation of gamers. And so I think to understand the history of a lot of IPs and gameplay mechanics and art and story and iconic characters on why people cosplay with them or why these 8-bit sound effects were just so memorable, and even when they get remixed and stuff, Nintendo just have that big of a history. So if people get a chance, whether they're buying it or they're playing on NSO or whatever, if they get that chance to experience what that game and the franchise has done, it gives that player a good history and a good understanding on why this series is popular and stuff. People have done it with the Zelda series, with their kids and stuff, and people are still doing it with other series, and other gamers are, finally getting a chance to play Nintendo games that, they never got a chance to play. So I think it's like, for Nintendo, I think it's good. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nintendo's obviously still going to re-release games, right? Like, yeah, they put Wind Waker on NSO, but there's no reason they're not going to sell those HD versions at some point. Or you look at Metroid Prime 2 will probably come to NSO at some point, probably before Metroid Prime 4 comes out. But they're still going to probably sell you it for $40 at some point. An HD kind of reworked version.
And once again, like you said, people will buy it.
Yeah, because I think Metroid Prime out of that generation is like, people love Metroid Prime 1, and I think 2 is kind of looked at not as fondly, right? And I think a lot of people want to like 3. Maybe a lot of people liked 3, right? But like, I think a lot of people would enjoy it more if it had controller support, like normal controller support, not motion controls. So, that's the one franchise I look at and say, yeah, they probably could use something a little bit more.
Yes.
I mean, we already got Pikmin 1 and 2, so that's done. Man, there are a lot of franchises on GameCube that I feel like could, like Star Fox, I feel like could be interesting. Star Fox Adventures specifically, like a remake of that would be interesting.
Fix the controls.
Yeah.
Like, you take, take the inverted controls and stuff out. Like, if they could fix the controls, I think it would be fine. They could do other stuff too, but I think, like, if they fix the controls and some quality of life things, I would play Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah. I think Luigi's Mansion will get an HD treatment at some point. Honestly, the other two did. I don't see why this one wouldn't. Even though, like, here's the thing: if you're only going to put it on NSO, you got to give me the option to not use inverted controls, because inverted controls are the default, and you can't change them on the GameCube, which sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, I still, just to answer the question, I still like this idea. I don't have a problem with it the way that other people do. I just think people don't like to pay for things, and they like to have things to complain about. And this is one of the useless things that they complain about.
So. Of course. And once again, the internet.
Yeah. Man. Ed, get me out of here before I start complaining about people on the internet, because they annoy me.
Well, everybody, we're going to give our final thoughts. I just only got 2 of them. I wrote a blog, a better that I think you guys should read, called Undeserved Sadness. It's something that I was thinking about while I was at PAX East, so you can give that one a read. And my interviews, I'm still transcribing. I got a lot more to do, but I hope you guys go out on bossrush.net and read those interviews. I had so much fun recording them, and talking to, like, each developer and creator and stuff. There's one interview that I still have that I am going to transcribe, but I can't release just yet until the embargo is up. But yeah, I'm working on more interviews to put out here on Boss Rush, but do give the ones that's out now a read, and just and learn more about the game and the studio and the developers and everything. Just had such a fun time. So that is my final thought. Corey, what about you?
My final thought is just, I think a lot of people just kind of worry about the latest and greatest and try to keep up with things regardless of, if they like those things or not. And, I know Nintendo fans in particular are so used to just buying every single game that comes out for the console, or people buy games that are, maybe not for them, or content that's not for them on other platforms, right? But they feel like they need to keep up and be a part of the conversation. Just my final thought is just take a step back and take a breath and play what you want to play when you want to play it. And obviously Nintendo games don't ever go on sale, and the physical copies obviously will hold their value or go up in price at some point, because that's just Nintendo at this point. But if you feel like you can wait, you can wait on a game and get a better experience for cheaper, essentially, right? Because there'll be a bunch of bug fixes, and on other platforms there might be a Game of the Year edition or a complete edition for cheaper when the game comes out. I look at Cyberpunk and The Witcher specifically from CD Projekt, where those games were both messes when they came out, and they've been 1,000% overhauled, and essentially you can get the best version of Cyberpunk and the DLC for $40 a lot of the time now. So it just the conversations around these games will keep happening, right? Yeah. And so just play what you want when you want. I mean, I'm 2 months late on Expedition 33 and I'm playing it, and it's people are still talking about that game, so still can be part of the conversation if you want to be, or just relax. Take it. You also don't have to play games. You can just kind of walk around and do whatever. It's fine. Nobody's gonna scold you for doing other things.
Right. Get outside.
I do other things all the time.
Yeah, go outside, get some air, go visit some places, go check out family friends. Yeah. Yes. Well, everybody, thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. If you joined us live, follow or subscribe to the channel you're watching if you haven't done so already. If you're watching us on YouTube later, like the video and leave your comments with your thoughts on today's topics, or leave one of your own we can discuss in future episodes. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review. You can support Boss Rush on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at a tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to our base shows on one feed. Thank you again for watching and or listening. Corey, it's always a great time to see you, dude, and hang out with you and talk.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everybody, we'll see you next time. And have a good day. Have a good weekend. With that, everybody, see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, Retro Stoy, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.